Just let me know. All right.
Rock me.
Welcome to Franceschi Hall for the final bout of the year for the Humboldt Roller Derby tonight. A very exciting bout between Root Force and North Bay Derby. They hail from Sonoma. Why is this bout more exciting than others? Well, the bottom line is this. This is a sanctioned bout. Humboldt is a chance to have both teams gained sanction ratings through sanctioned games. And so this game tonight is a sanctioned game between the North Bay team that hails from Rohnert Park. North Bay Derby describes himself as a flat track roller derby league based in Northern California, established in 2024. North Bay Derby is a result of the merging of former Derby leagues, Sonoma County Roller Derby and Resurrection Roller Derby. Their goal is to foster athletic opportunities while promoting ideals of teamwork, inclusivity, community involvement, and fun. They're a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and they're proud members of the California Derby Galaxy. So that's who they're sending up here as the B team to go ahead and skate against Root Force tonight in a sanctioned game. There was just before every roller derby bout, if you've been out here to Franceschi Hall, you know that in slow motion, the announcer will go through and talk about some of the terms and some of the moves to get the fans familiar with roller derby. If only it moved that slow. That's not the case. Once the game starts, it's incredible speed and incredible force. About to be joined by Chakra Punch, my color broadcaster for this evening. Root Force will skate players that haven't gone back and forth with the Redwood Rollers this year, with one exception, and that's Bjorn Wickett. And then Bjorn Wickett, who's normally a defender for the Redwood Rollers, is looking like they're donning the star and will be a jammer tonight. So a chance to try that out in a B contest. Got about 10 minutes until the start. This is the final home game of the year. There have been 6 fall matchups, or 6 matchups total throughout the year. The team took the summer off and has come back strong, I think, through this period of time in this fall schedule. Proud to be joined by Chakra Punch for the second time on the broadcast. How are you doing?
Not on. Okay, now I can hear myself.
Now you can hear yourself.
I'm doing great.
Doing great. Well, tell me, more than just doing great. You're just back. You said your plane just landed?
Yesterday morning. I just returned from Hawaii. I went there for the Aloha Skate Tournament. And it's a draft tournament. So it's random skaters from all over the world. And we have a draft party on Friday. And you get chosen. Well, we played silly games to see who gets chosen to what teams. And then we skated all day Saturday and Sunday. And so I got to skate with like the all-star skaters. It was really hard and really awesome.
Okay, so let's first of all, how did you even hear about this tournament?
Instagram, I'm sure.
Instagram?
Yeah.
And then is this the first time you've participated in a tournament of this nature?
Yes. And this is only the second Aloha Skate tournament that has happened.
Is this going to be a yearly for you?
I certainly hope so.
Now you flew out to Hawaii, but
Yeah.
you were playing how many bouts did you skate?
Well, on Saturday I had 3 30-minute games against different teams. Like they mix us all up. And then on Sunday, I only had one full length game. Determining our, positions. And I think we were 6 out of 8. But another teammate of mine went out, Bianca Swagger, who's going to be skating in the second game tonight. We both were in the tournament together, and that's like her hometown, essentially. She's from the Big Island, and so she got to go back and skate there.
As the route force is being introduced, tell me, do the Redwood Rollers give you their blessing to go out there and to play in a tournament like that?
I mean, it's all individuals, so I just went.
But I mean, you're playing top-notch players. What if you wind up getting injured?
Well, I mean, honestly, that's a risk in daily life. I feel like so many of our injuries end up not being from derby. Like when I really hurt my knee, like, I don't know, a decade ago, it was from mosh pits, not from roller derby.
There you go. A mosh pit injury.
Yes.
As opposed to a derby injury. So you skated the 6 games. Did you get a chance to get out and see Hawaii at all?
Oh, yes. My family, we turned it into a 10-day family vacation. So we went out there, we got to hang out and do stuff. And then we had a break where I went and did the tournament, and they came and watched. And then we got to hang out for a few more days.
Well, how many members of your family?
2. Yeah.
Fantastic. So there you go. A Hawaii vacation, a working vacation.
Yeah.
In Hawaii. Now, this is a big bout tonight for Route Force because it's a sanctioned bout.
Yes.
I notice only one player from the Rollers that normally plays with the Rollers is going to skate with Route Force tonight, and that's Bjorn Wicked. Now, Bjorn Wicked, usually a defensive player, is wearing the star of a jammer. Are they going to be a jammer tonight?
It certainly looks like it. Bjorn Wicked, I believe, used to be a jammer, but then decided they wanted to block. And so this is a return to roots, I guess.
a root return on Route Force. I like it. Root rock. So that'll be an interesting storyline. The other storyline, I think, is you've introduced a lot of new players in this fall session of games.
Yeah.
And so this will really be the toughest test for them.
Yes.
As they go ahead and have this sanctioned bout against North Bay. So that's something to look forward to. And then the second game, you're going to be in that game.
Yes.
It's kind of a mystery game, right?
I think it's a pickup team.
It's a pickup team from the league in Oakland.
Yes.
Okay, so Misery Loves Company Derby comes out of the Bay Area Derby, and they're going to have a not necessarily a pickup team, but at least probably threw it out to the league. They have a road trip up here, and this is who they have. It's not a sanctioned game, but I'm sure there's some excellent players that come out of that.
Yeah,
league.
one of my teammates from my team in Hawaii is actually coming to skate with Misery Loves Company.
Now, how many, you said people came from all over the world. Where?
Well, a lot of California, both north and south. There were a few Canadians. There were some from the Midwest, from Texas, from the South. And then there were also a couple of Team Japan skaters, I believe.
Wow.
And definitely Hawaii locals. And that's all I'm really aware of. Oh, Denver. A lot of the All-Stars were Denver skaters.
So now your career has taken you coast to coast and now to Hawaii.
Yes. Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's a weird blessing. Like, I couldn't believe that I was there. And, like, Freight Train is my, like, idol in terms of skating. Like,
Freight Train.
Freight Train.
Where is she from?
He's from Texas, but now is skating with Angel City in LA.
Wow.
And, like, she skates the way that I want to. It's so much power and force and, like, hitting people out of the way, you know? And then I got drafted to her team.
Really?
And got to skate alongside her. It just felt like, whoa.
Is she a nice person?
Yeah, very nice.
There you go. Did she give you pointers and tips?
She was very quiet. She's a very quiet person, but like a force of nature on the track. It was just amazing to get to watch, like in person, watch her technique.
How are you aware of Freight Train?
Just watching Derby. I mean, like a big part of the sport, and like to be able to understand the gameplay and the strategy and everything, you watch other teams play. So, like, you can go online.
Do you have a favorite team to watch? Is it Angel City? Because
I would say I definitely used to pick Freight Train's games, but also Rose City is
from Portland.
Yeah, they have their games have great production level, so it's easy to watch. But also their skaters, being the #1 team, you know, their skaters are amazing.
You know, I noticed that when I was up in Oregon, I listened to a college baseball broadcast that was just fantastic. And maybe a state that doesn't have a real professional presence takes pride in the other levels of athleticism.
Oh, maybe.
Athletics that
Okay.
exist. So, but the production was fantastic. Well, there you go. So we're 2 minutes away from the start of this one. And does the team get up more for a game like this, knowing that it's a sanctioned event?
Like, are they more excited?
Yeah.
Or yeah, definitely.
Get up.
But it also like increases the intensity of it and like the nervousness of like, oh my God, this one counts for something, you know?
Well, we got the band in full force one more time to come out. An unseasonably warm night, and that's interesting because the doors are open in Franceschi Hall, something that might not happen in a normal November. Maybe that floor isn't going to be so hard to hit tonight because it's a little warmer.
I expect it because it's a little humid, the floor sometimes gets like sticky, not like
Sticky,
something
like grabby?
grippy. Yeah.
Grippy.
So then it makes it
It's
hard
like an
to like
adjective,
plow stop and everything like that.
Oh.
Yeah, so it can be an extra challenge. I haven't put my skates on yet, so I'm not sure what the floor is like.
Now, you, a veteran of skating on the East Coast, did you notice the humidity there and what it might have done to your skates?
We were on a sticky roller rink floor that was already grippy. And it was so long ago. Wheels were different, like technique, it was all different. Yeah.
Hold that thought real quick. I'm going to give the station ID. You're listening to KZZH 96.7 Community Radio from Access Humboldt. You're listening to Humboldt Roller Derby. You're listening to Root Force versus the Bay Area Derby. North Bay Derby, hailing from Sonoma County. And this broadcast is underwritten by the Speakeasy Bar, a New Orleans-inspired custom-built bar, seasonal craft cocktails, local fresh ingredients, live jazz music, and more. Located at 411 Opera Alley in Eureka. Back to what you were just saying. You start talking, and then you give me ideas. Technology with skates and does that change every year?
Not every year, but I started skating back in 2008. And so it's been a humongous leap since then.
A humongous leap. We're getting ready for the first jam of the night. And here we go. Wrench is trying to hold off the animal, but the animal gets out for North Bay. And then finally, that's
Raging Eddie.
Raging Eddie. And here is down in the first turn. A little slow. The jam is going to get called off. Little confusion, mostly confusion with the announcer, is getting used to numbers real quick. North Bay Derby got 3 points. North Bay Derby is in the white jerseys with purple trim and black numbers. All of the Route Force in black jerseys, everybody but Paris Knot in black and red. Paris Knot appropriately in black and green. So here we go. Looks like Scooby Derby Doo breaking loose. How about that? This is a new player who started skating with Route Force this fall. Has broken loose. Here is the jammer. They are in front of Death Nettle. Blocking happening. Oh, straight ahead hit. Oh, what a hit. And taken down. Man, that looked like Lucille Balls who made the hit there. And knocked Scooby Derby Doo to the ground. An incredible, forceful hit. Before Derby Doo had a chance to score any points. Here we go, jam number 3. A running start there for Like a Virgo, but now held up. And finally, Like a Virgo breaks loose. Like a Virgo breaks loose. We have the jammer for North Bay in the box, so it's a power jam. And here are the blockers getting ready to run some plays for Like a Virgo. And Virgo takes on the North Bay front wall there, their triad, and then breaks loose to the right. What a good job. Inside, outside, breaking loose. Like a Virgo. Started skating again with a squad in the fall here and is up in scoring points here. Breaking through, crashing to the ground. Back on the track is Metal Monk, who is the jammer for North Bay. And Like a Virgo recycles out now to the penalty box. And lo and behold, it's North Bay on a power jam. Wrench tried to keep Metal Monk from getting through, but now Metal Monk in scoring position, rounding turn 3 and coming down to the original jam line. Paris Knot, last line of defense. Interesting to see Paris Knot on defense. Last time we saw them, they were doing some great job as a jammer. So Metal Monk for another pass and calling play number 2 and getting their blockers in action and cutting loose to the inside, getting by Wrench. And this is a big scoring trip for Metal Monk, their 3rd time around. Like a Virgo back in the game. Oh, head on with the triangle of North Bay. And then there's just like a bowling pin. It looked like they were picking up the spare there. Everybody was all over the place. When the action finally stops, North Bay outscores Humboldt 11-6 and has a 14-6 lead with 25:46 to go. And who is that we see for the Roots as
It's Poetic Justice.
Poetic Justice trying to go around a block on the outside. Meanwhile, for North Bay, it's the Animal, their 2nd time around. They were in that first jam and knocked to the ground, and there was no points scored on the first jam. Riptide tries to give a hit check So does Malice in Wonderland, but it doesn't matter. And now calling off the jam quickly after passing through Humboldt with a couple of nice moves was North Bay. We'll see what the scoring points were. You always got to wait.
Yeah. And the refs in the middle there, they're usually holding up, the ones with the wristbands are usually holding up the score at the end of every single pass.
So in that pass, just 1 point in the entire jam. It was awarded to Humboldt. Here's Bjorn Wicked. Knocked out's got to recycle back. And Lucille Balls holding him back. Lucille Balls, I think, is going to play in both games. So Bjorn Wicked in her first jamming session of the game. And it's Death Nettle that breaks loose for North Bay and is coming into turn one and getting ready for their first scoring pass. Death Nettle and smashing in to Parasnot. Gonna call off the jam. And equally matched players size-wise, and they hit very hard, and they both went flying. And I think Parasnot's going to fly all the way to the penalty box.
Yes, that was a low block.
So what was the call?
Low block?
Low block.
I believe. I saw Snot go legs first into their legs.
And there you go. We're listening to quality radio, and we just heard the sentence, I saw Snot go onto their legs. Here we go. Breaking loose quickly is Metal Monk. Meanwhile, pushing hard, Raging Eddie. And Metal Monk has gone through for the first time. Not much defense by Humboldt there, and the jam was called off. You know, I think Raging Eddie might be my favorite name. It's this juxtaposition. Raging Eddie. You know, remember? Did you ever hear of a comedian? I have to ask now because I'm so much older. Did you ever hear of George Carlin?
Yes.
Okay, so his whole thing about words that don't make sense together, like jumbo shrimp.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Raging Eddie.
Well, Eddie is actually an avid kayaker, so I think it has something to do with the river.
Oh, of course, and
Yes.
Eddie is part. That's fantastic to incorporate your into your persona, your hobby. Raging Eddie. It's 21-7. So that's the score here in North Bay. Roller Derby up. I think, you know, if there's one thing, if I was coaching, and just throw this out here, I think got to turn up the defensive intensity for the Route Force.
Mm-hmm. And I think it also comes down to getting to know your team. The first few jams are always like an exploration of like, how does this other team block? What do we need to shift and focus on to counter their offense or to do better defense against their jammers? Yeah.
I think one of the things that's been very obvious this fall season with the Redwood Rollers has been the tremendous teamwork and the ability to work together and to, I think one of the reasons Humboldt plays much bigger and plays so tough is because they have that coordination.
Mm-hmm. It definitely comes with time.
And for the B team and for the Route Force, they're getting that in this experience here. Doing a great job. Wrench as the tip of the triangle that's doing a great job keeping the jammer for North Bay hung up. And finally going to have to let him go. That was Torque and Beans. And number 94, Griselda, doing a great job defensively. And the Animal on for their third run of the night. What a great move, outside to inside, cutting through and scoring points. Meanwhile, recycling back as Scooby Derby Doo was even looking to pass the star, has it in their hand. And while all that is going on, Animal breaks loose, and Parasnot with another tremendous block, sending Animal to the ground. I think Parasnot's got that low hip going. Bend at the hip and let the backbone slip. That's some defense there, but now called for a penalty and to the box. Meanwhile, Animal skating leisurely around the track, a 33-7 lead. Humboldt starting a bit flat, and there's an Apex jumping on one skate. Oh, my. What a play, and then out. And Animal is going to have to go to the box and cut the track. So they said that Animal cut the track. 12-4 on this jam. There's 18 seconds left, and here comes Scooby Derby Doo. Scooby Derby Doo pushing the rookie in her first fall action, and finally knocked to the ground by Lady Slipper. And the jam runs out. We went the full 2 minutes there.
And at the end there, when the North Bay blocker hit Scoobs out, Torque and Beans and also I think Snot, they all stopped North Bay from running back and running Scoobs all the way back by getting in their way so that they couldn't go further back.
And
Which
that's
was
when
great.
they have to go back where the defenders are. They're one of the great strategies of recycling is to push them back as far as they can go. And so there you go. There's a whole nother level of it, blocking the recyclers.
Yes.
There you go.
That as a jammer, it is so wonderful when your blockers do that.
Wow, cool. So like a Virgo, but Humboldt, the root force, a skater down as Wrench is in the box.
It looks like jammer down for North Bay, maybe. I think the
I haven't seen
jammer
a
is
jammer
standing
come
in the
out.
box.
Hard to tell when the whole jam line is in front of you.
Yeah.
But we know Like a Virgo is ready to be the jammer for Humboldt.
The other jammer is standing, so they're going to have 10 seconds or less to try to get Like a Virgo out before they have to focus on the other jammer.
Now, interesting, they're a jammer down, you're a blocker down.
Mm-hmm.
It's 4-on-4. How do they run this? And a great job by Malice in Wonderland throwing a lead block. But now the defenders have wrapped up Like a Virgo. Number 13 there, Violet Crime, in on the defense along with AK-47 and blasting through. And ready, the Animal. A little shake and bake. Wow. Little shake and bake with the shoulders, but never watch the shoulders. Always watch the hips. The shoulders can fake you out, but the hips can't.
Yep.
And finally, the Animal gets through inch by inch there, getting past each blocker in the fourth turn. Now Animal coming up the backside of the track. The star was passed to Malice in Wonderland. Malice, who was on the broadcast last time. It's going to be an end to the jam. 4 points being awarded to North Bay. 43-14, not the start the Rollers want in this sanctioned bout. Poetic Justice, and it looks like Death Nettle are the jammers. 18:49 to go here in the first. Oh, Poetic Justice, for whatever reason, got a slow start, had a lane, but didn't hit the hole fast enough. Now it's being held up. She-Ra Badass is just that and has knocked Poetic Justice out, and then Poetic Justice is going to be called for cutting the track because they didn't recycle back. Death Nettle is going to take a hit there from Bridge of Khazad-dûm and be knocked out along the first corner and then break loose. Getting away from Griselda and now in a scoring position. Remember, this is a power jam. because in the box, Poetic Justice and Death Nettle using blockers that are moving. You can run a moving screen in this game, and that's exactly what North Bay was doing, but now Humboldt is stiffened up, and the jam is going to be called off. How long does it take as a jammer to see it, to see the holes, to see the moment?
It's hard because one thing is seeing it, but the next is getting your body to move there.
It looked like Poetic Justice was, sending the thoughts, but the body just wasn't going there at that moment. So here we go. Jam number 10 and knocked to the ground, and they said stayed in is number 432, Metal Monk. Meanwhile, held up and fighting hard. It's Poetic Justice again for their second straight jam. Rarely do you see that. The star was passed to Malice in Wonderland, and the jam was called off. 52-14. North Bay, steady scoring team. They're going to set their blockers way off. It looks like we have everybody on the track, and that's Bjorn Wicked going to give it a try. We have a timeout, it looks like, being called. A quick substitution for North Bay, some instruction coming in. They're calling timeout. What do you call timeout for here? What's the issue?
Well, you could call it just to give your skaters a rest if you don't have a lot of skaters. You could also do it to bring the focus back in. Like if someone is noticing what needs to change, you could call it and huddle up and like say, okay, we need to focus on this because the jammers are getting by or whatever.
Do you ever come out of these timeouts with strategy?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, sometimes they huddle up for strategy, but at this one, I'm not really sure what's happening because their pack stayed on the track, so it might just be a rest.
Well, it looked like they skated a blocker on, almost
Okay.
like in a football game where somebody runs in with a play.
Okay. Maybe they were short and they caught it.
So here we go. We're going to have Bjorn Wicked is the Roots jammer. And breaking to the outside. Wow. Speed move there.
Mugshot Milo.
Mugshot Milo. Out of nowhere. First time in the game. Whoa, what a great job by Bjorn Wicked. And then finally spun out. Bjorn Wicked broke loose and did a complete 360. Incredible athleticism to break away, only to be knocked out again and have to recycle. Mugshot Milo did not let Bjorn Wicked get to a scoring opportunity as they called off the jam immediately. When you get ahead like this, better to call off these jams early.
I mean, every 2 points, 4 points counts when they're not scoring anything. You know, that's how they were able to creep up so high. It's just been a steady, like every jam, 2 or 4 points. And that's how you stay ahead.
So adding knocked out was Raging Eddie back on the track. And then pushing forward, that's a new jammer, Avril Lavigne. Avril Lavigne with some speed to the outside, but being held up in the second corner. Nice! Oh, what a shot there from Matt Blau to seize, knocking Avril Lavigne out. And holding up and knocked down again. Boy, Mad Plow making their presence felt. And now Mad Plow knocked to the ground by a blocker. And trying to get Avril Lavigne to recycle through. Mad Plow back in, trying to spring. Raging Eddie. Avril Lavigne going to the penalty box. Down goes.
Oh.
Hiss and tell. We've got people flying all over Raging Eddie. Pretty full contact here. Eddie takes the outside. And there you go. Malice in Wonderland. I think that's who laid the block out there. And oh, what a move to the inside by Eddie. Taking on a North Bay skater one-on-one and getting through. Up, down, scoring. Amazing. Here comes Eddie with a wall of blockers in front of her. Hiss and tell. Mad Plow. Let's see. Oh, there's the old roller derby whiplash move. And then knocked out his Raging Eddie. And it's going to be called, wow, crack the whip. I haven't seen that since I've been, why not?
Yeah, it doesn't happen so much these days. It definitely used to be more common.
An old school move here. 59-20. And that was the most exciting jam of the night, Jam 11. 12:39 to go. Scooby Derby Doo, pushing, tiptoeing. Oh, knocked out. Hip check by Scarlett Bronte. Now recycling back. Scarlett Bronte, who goes affectionately by the name Scar. Both jammers have been sent to the penalty box. And we ask the question, now what?
The other jammer gets sprung immediately, and then the jammer that sat last sits the rest of that other jammer's time. They do it so that the action never stops.
But the action has stopped.
That
Nobody
took a long
understands
time.
what's going on.
That took a long time.
The clock is running. Paris Knott was unable to stop the animal, who finally figured out that they could leave the penalty box.
Scoob's got a forearm, so we're going to start jammer down.
My, that was a strange turn of events. Confusion reigns here at Franceschi Hall. On a warm November night, the last game of the season. A wonderful fall season, wouldn't you say?
Mm-hmm.
The bouts have been pretty darn competitive. That bout with the Ventura team, that was a hard-hitting bout.
Yes.
And chances are Misery Loves Company could be pretty strong.
I'm expecting that. That's what I'm expecting, but I don't really know. I don't know.
Well, I mean, let me ask you this. You say you watch Derby, so you know about some teams.
Yeah.
But then when travel teams get together, you don't know about them.
Unless they have played other games, you can watch them, but it's hard to watch Derby and anticipate how they're going to be with your team because every team is different, and so you play differently against different teams. So you might watch their footage and think, oh, we see what they're doing there, and we can get ahead of it. But then they come here, and they're doing something completely different.
Now, let me ask this, and I'm sure our audience wants to know this. How much Derby do you watch?
Oh, I wish I could say I'm watching it all the time, but I am very busy. I do a lot, and I'm a mom. So maybe a game a month, but it's really not often. I want to be watching more.
Is there a special Derby space that, I mean, you know, that late at night when you can just concentrate on it? Do you hit rewind?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
That's definitely the way to watch it if you're trying to learn the strategy because it goes so fast. And then on YouTube, they have this excellent feature where you can slow down the gameplay. So if you play it at like 75% or even 50, because the high level games are like super fast. The action is so fast. So if you can slow it down, then you can see a little bit more and you can change your focus per jam and like watch it and rewatch it. Yeah.
Now, you were with some higher level players in Hawaii, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you notice the game speeding up a bit?
Oh, it was fast. And I think it comes down to how quickly they think and react and come up with strategy and everything like that. Like when it was the two highest level teams against each other, the first and second place, they were just whipping around and the jammers are moving so quickly and the blockers are switching from defense to offense quickly.
So here we go. One jammer that won't be moving quickly is the Roots jammer as they are in the box. Great job there defensively by Spins and Needles, playing well defensively in this particular jam, holding up Death Nettle. And Nettle gets along the outside, tiptoes along, and finally breaks loose. Scooby Derby Doo anxious to come in and now gets to run in. Death Nettle here in turn number 2, taking on the quadrilateral of Humboldt defenders. Meanwhile, Scooby Derby Doo trying to catch up and doing a great job of that and actually ahead of Death Nettle now. But it's Death Nettle, and we talked about it. It's the vision. It's the vision and the reaction, breaking to the outside and breaking loose, and now going to be in a scoring position. Already put 4 up on the board, 63-20 with 10:24 to go. Derby Doo is now. See, you know all the nicknames for the nicknames.
Yes.
What do they call you? Punch?
Chakra.
Chakra.
Because at the time there was perp also, purple sticky punch. We had 2 punches.
Oh.
But you don't get to choose your nickname. Your nickname just kind of gets chosen.
Okay, no,
people just start calling you something.
67-20. You choose your identity name.
Yes.
But then say like Slam Chowder becomes Chowder, right?
Yes.
Or Rotten Tula Core becomes Tula.
Yes.
Okay. I see.
Because when you're out there in the action, it's a long name to say.
Pushing ahead like a Virgo. And into the inside and finally knocked down there by Lady Slipper, who also takes out Torque and Beans on a cross block across. Like a Virgo finally breaks loose, but this is Metal Monk on the drive for North Bay. Oh, and there's just a mighty collision and bodies everywhere in turn number 3. My goodness. Let me get the underwriters in here real quick. Rennie Public Law Group, providing legal services to public agencies throughout California, practicing public law in the public interest. Find out more at renniepubliclawgroup.com. Broadcasts of the Humboldt Roller Derby games are supported by A to Z Eye Care, dedicated to providing the community with quality vision care through education, technology, and excellent service. And, of course, we have the Speakeasy Bar at 411 Opera Alley in Eureka. And look at that. It's Mugshot Milo again. Mugshot Milo looks like they were shot out of a cannon. Very fast and trying to do a little shake and bake, but unable to get through this sturdy Humboldt defense here down in turn 1. Meanwhile, Poetic Justice has been sent to the penalty box. So Mugshot Milo still being held up. Some of the better defense we've seen tonight out of the Root Force, but finally Mugshot Milo gets loose. A speedy skater. Think of Furious George for the rollers, that kind of skater. Fast and knocked out there by Malice in Wonderland, who went ahead and knocked out Mugshot Milo and then took on Lucille Balls. Why not? Make your presence known. But still that steady 5 points. Like, You ever play cribbage?
No.
No?
No.
Oh.
That's the board with the dots.
Yes,
Yeah. Okay.
the steady scoring hands, That's what this is. I have the wonderful opportunity to work with commentators that come from the roller derby teams, but I'm culturally from a different place. So I should keep my analogies, just stick to roller derby. 7:05 to go, 76-20. Humboldt has just not, Root Force has just not had very dynamic jamming tonight. Haven't been able to break loose. Been an outstanding defensive game by the teams, the tripods for North Bay. Band jamming along. Now, do you know most of the songs that the band does?
I know a lot of them. Can I name them all? No, but I know them.
Oh, breaking loose and falling to their knees is the animal breaking loose. And that means that Humboldt gets their jammer off the bench. That's Poetic Justice. And Justice makes a great move. Justice, though, a little tentative. And Animal also breaking loose from the pack and calling off the jam. So 3 points awarded to North Bay. And we've got a 79-20 game. I'll tell you what. It's been 6 or 7 minutes since the Root Force have scored.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same, that it's been a very low-scoring game for us.
So Bjorn Wicked making their seasonal debut as a jammer, breaking loose with Death Nettle on her heels, pointing it. Here comes Bjorn Wicked.
She was telling them to get her points.
And she going to get some points. Oh, I would have liked to see her put the head down and go for more. Bjorn Wicked with a bit of a steam behind her. That's worth the price of admission. Let's see that.
And I think Wicked is also jamming in the second game. I believe she's in my jammer rotation.
You're kidding. I don't
Yes.
see. Yes,
Yeah,
there you
she
go. She's the only player that's going to do it. And what do you mean jammer rotation? Are you a jammer?
Yes. And we have a rotation. I think we have a 5 jammer rotation for the next game. So we go out in that order.
Wrench pulled over by Metal Monk. Metal Monk has been a big-time scorer this period. Raging Eddie. Wow, a lot of elbows being thrown there. That one being thrown by Shredder Cheese. Metal Monk gets a couple of points and calls off the jam before Raging Eddie gets around. I see a pattern developing here.
Yes. And that's the power of being the lead jammer, is the control is all in your hands.
Is that something you like about it?
Oh, no. No, honestly, your bench is calling the shots. So we have people, like we have Shreddy over there in that corner. And you have your bench coach, and they're telling you when to run it. We have symbols, like when to run it, when to get points and call it because the other jammer is close behind you. When to call it immediately. Yeah.
So 4:32 to go in the half, 83-22. I would say they would have to have signals. You could never hear.
No. Unless they yell very loud, which some of them do.
Can you hear teammates yelling to you?
On the track, yes. From the bench, we have music, we have a band, we have an audience. It gets a little hard.
What was the scene like in Hawaii? Did they have bands? Did they have announcers? Did they have?
They had really great announcers, and they had a DJ, no band. Most other teams don't have a band. Like our game production, teams are always so impressed, and they really enjoy coming here because other places don't have this.
It's Mugshot Milo and Scooby Derby doing. This is what you need to see because both of these players are amazing.
Yeah!
Scooby Dooby takes her to the ground and takes the lead. Here comes for a scoring opportunity. This team needs some energy.
Milo was lead, so they called it before Scoobs could score.
Oh, rats. That was the moment.
Yeah.
I could feel it.
It was
Everything
still an
was-
excellent jam.
No, it was 0-0.
Yep.
Oh. All right. That was so exciting for 0-0. Like a Virgo pushing hard, trying to get sprung, and finally fighting through. No. Man, great defense. Shredder cheese. A wall of defense. And breaking loose is Like a Virgo. Meanwhile, trying to pass the star, and the star's been passed. The star's been passed to Lady Slipper. Like a Virgo coming in, scoring points. Lady Slipper has been sent to the bench.
I
And
feel
the-
like this is our first lead.
Well,
Jam.
and Like a Virgo, and it's 5-3. There's two skaters in the box, but now a Humboldt skater joining them. So 4-on-3 on the far corner. Like a Virgo pushing through. 8 points so far, by far the largest scoring bid of the night for a jammer for the Roots Force. Pushing and going to the ground. Now both jammers are in the game. And look at this. Slipping out. Lady Slipper, who was the pivot to start and was past the star. The jam is finally called off. 10-0 on the jam. 83-32. Going to need a few of those with 1:56 to go. The most important thing here, don't get sloppy. Focus and keep them from going on any sort of run. We have a timeout. Now, this is what fascinates me. Ready? It's a timeout to discuss some play, but there's no replay.
Nope. So they just have to rely on their memories.
Wow.
And they're pooling together what they all saw.
Wow.
Who saw what?
Wow. There it is.
I've seen an excellent account on Instagram. It's a ref who shares ref vision videos. So videos where it's in slow motion and they highlight the offending skaters and like the action, like break down the action of why it was a call or why it wasn't a call. It's really cool to see how the refs think because it's no impact, no penalty. So just because they contact with a forearm doesn't mean it's automatically a penalty. It depends on how much it impacts gameplay.
So still being discussed. We should say to you, our referees are Missy Elliott, Megalodonna, Hellwood Blues, Blondie, Tasmanian Devil, Aurora Chaser, and referee Lebowski. And respectively, they're the head ref, the inside pack ref, the jam refs, and the outside pack refs. They will be the same referees in game 2, only they will be playing or skating in different positions. Sanction games are the most important games for referees, and they try to put people in a position to succeed. And a game like a regulation game that we're going to see in the next bout with Misery Loves Company what we'll see is they're going to move into different positions, and they try to develop a deeper cadre of referees. Poetic Justice is going to be the jammer for Root Force. I do not see a jammer at the moment for North Bay. There is someone with a star on the helmet talking to the referee.
Oh, they must be the captain, so they have to go in for any contesting.
Spins and Needles playing good defense has all night as they've got the North Bay Jammer locked up, and Poetic Justice breaks loose, but has to go to the penalty box. Why? Poetic Justice has been in the penalty box a lot.
Maybe forearm, I think, is what Hellwood is saying right now.
Animal is loose and just skating around easily that time. No opposition at all. This is what cannot happen right here before the half, to let North Bay go on any sort of run. But Animal is doing the job and then calls out the jam. It was a power jam. Humboldt was never even in contention in that jam. A minute to go, 87-32. Is there a plan for the game, or will the coach go ahead and Daddy Longlegs, I think, is coaching? Will the coach go ahead and suggest position changes for half number 2?
They'll probably do some reconfiguring or reminding of, or like changing the strategy up.
Got to get some energy jam-wise. Poetic Justice is still the jammer. After coming out of the box, Poetic Justice has been in the box 3 times tonight as a jammer, and then finally breaking loose for North Bay is Death Nettle. The half is officially over, but the jam still has a minute 21 to go. I think Poetic Justice has passed the
Doom is now the jammer.
I can't see who has it at the moment.
Bridge of Khazad Doom.
Bridge of Khazad Doom, who checks back in and knocked to the ground there by Lady Slipper. And the jam's going to get called off. Nope. There was just a whistle on the play. The jam still has 36 seconds left in it. Players exhausted as pushing forward. Bridge of Khazad Doom. Players playing an extra couple of minutes for the jam. Now it's finally called off, and we're going to have an intermission. Let's see what we've got score-wise. 95-32. A lot of work to do for the Root Force. Well, real quick, what did you see or didn't you see?
Well, I do see that Root Force needs to stay together. I think that's a big part of the problem, is especially when you're a newer skater, it's hard to see where you need to be. But most often than not, when in doubt, find a buddy is what we say. So when in doubt, get together with another one of your blockers, because there's strength in numbers. You can't, unless you're a very high level blocker, it is very hard to take on a jammer one-on-one. And so the more you can stay together, the better chance you have of stopping them.
Okay, so that's the expert advice of Shocker Punch. We'll see you in about 10 minutes. We're going to send it back to the station with a score. North Bay 95, Roots Force 32. Are you going to miss that? Yeah, hey. But she's leaving. They better be as good.
Welcome to the KZZH Community Calendar for the week starting Friday, November 14th, 2025. On Friday, Welcome to the KZZH Community Calendar for the week starting Friday, November 14th, 2025. On Friday, November 14th, do you have taste for the classics? If so, you'll like the EHS Players, The Visions of Cassandra, from 7:30 to 10 p.m. at the Eureka High School Auditorium, 1915 J Street. This is an original Greek tragedy adapted from the Iliad by Homer and the Trojan Women by Euripides. Focused on the young, prophetic princess Cassandra, the story explores the love and grief of a family burdened by ongoing conflict 9 years into the Trojan War. Get more information and admission pricing by emailing needhamc@eurekacitischools.org or by calling 707-441-2537. Also on Friday, among your other theater options is Getting Dark, 3 one-act comedies starting at 7 p.m. at the Exit Theater, 890 G Street in Arcata. These are 3 new short plays by Daniel Lehman, directed by Wendy Butler. Go to theexit.org for more information. Finally, on Friday, there will be a Downtown and Old Town holiday open house from 5 to 8 p.m. in historic Old Town Eureka on 2nd Street. Enjoy music, treats, live music, food trucks, in-store specials, a prize drawing, and more. Email Eureka Main Street at eurekaca.gov or call 707-441-4187 to find out more. On Saturday, November 15th, strap on your running shoes for the Veterans Day at McKay 5K, 10K, and Community Connections Fair starting at 10 a.m. at the McKay Community Forest, 3100 Hare Street in Eureka. All festivities, the race and the after party, take place in the Community Forest. Hang around after to cheer on finishers, enjoy the award ceremony, and barbecue. Also on Saturday, get ready for Kuna's Disaster Preparedness Block Party from 12 to 3 p.m. at the Kuna Resilience Hub and Family Resource Center, 4700 Valley East Boulevard in Arcata. Learn essential disaster preparedness skills and pick up free disaster preparedness go-bag supplies. There will be live music, kids' activities, resource booths, interactive demonstrations, and a Taquiza taco bar catered by Los Quiles Taqueria. Finally, on Saturday, get ready to rumble at the Humboldt Roller Derby's final home game of the season at Redwood Acres Franceschi Hall starting at 6 p.m. Stuck at home or at work? Access Humboldt has got you covered. We will live stream video of the games on Access Humboldt's YouTube page on Optimum Channel 8 and broadcast descriptions on KZZH 96.7. Don't miss a second of the red-hot action. On Sunday, November 16th, don't miss the Wine and Jazz from 3 to 5 p.m. at the Morse Graves Museum of Art, 636 F Street in Eureka. This is a monthly performance series highlighting Humboldt County performers. This week, it's music by Andrew Barnett and Francis Vanek. Your regular admission covers everything. Go to humboldtarts.org for the details. Also on Sunday, don't be afraid. Embrace fundamentals of clown with Jeff Raz from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Arcata Playhouse, 1251 9th Street. Explore the fundamentals of clowning with Jeff Raz in this workshop for all skill levels. There's a modest suggested donation, but no one will be turned away for lack of funds. Go to arcataplayhouse.org for more information. Finally, on Sunday, there will be a Eureka Waterfront guided birding trip from 9 to 11 a.m. on the Eureka Waterfront, foot of Del Norte Street. This relatively urban trail offers the potential to observe species abundance and diversity. Email the book at rananet.com to sign up. You may also go to rras.org to find out more. On Monday, November 17th, everyone knows the first rule of the Ukulele Fight Club of Humboldt from 6 to 8 p.m. HLOC Space at 92 Sunnybrae Center in Arcata. Bring a ukulele and join the fun. Check the calendar at ukulelefightclubofhumboldt.com for cancellations and additional events. All levels are welcome, and there's a modest suggested donation. On Tuesday, November 18th, attention entrepreneurs, there will be a lightning pitch clinic, fast feedback, new connections, from 5:30 to 7 p.m. at Startup Humboldt, 876 7th Street in Arcata. The Startup Humboldt competition is a high-impact regional initiative designed to grow scalable businesses, create jobs, and strengthen Humboldt's economy. Go to startuphumboldt.org or call 707-840-4940 to find out more. Also on Tuesday, you are invited to the Writers Group from 12:30 to 2 p.m. at Christ Episcopal Church, 1428 H Street in Eureka. Writers will share all types of writing and get assistance from one another. Drop-ins are welcome, and this is not a faith-based event. Finally, on Tuesday, improve your English skills with English Express, an online English language class for adults. You can build English language confidence in ongoing online and in-person classes. All levels and first languages are welcome. Join anytime, and pre-registration is not required. Go to EnglishExpressEmpowered.com or call 707-443-5021 to find out more. On Wednesday, November 19th, don't miss Katie Moulton, Maker's Apron, from 12:30 to 1 p.m. at the Eureka Women's Club, 1531 J Street. Katie Moulton will be speaking about her business, Maker's Apron, Creative Reuse. Bring a brown bag lunch and visit with members starting at noon. Dessert and beverage will be provided. The speaker is from 12:30 to 1 p.m. Email susantobias2015@gmail.com or call 408-848-4662. On Thursday, November 20th, come to the third Thursday Talk Series with Redwood Community Energy Authority, starting at 7 p.m. at the Humboldt Grange, 501 4845 Humboldt Hill Road in Eureka. Learn more about the RCEA and what they do and what they can do for you. The event is free and open to the public. Also on Thursday, check out the food web responses to Klamath Dam removal from 7 to 9 p.m. at the Six Rivers Masonic Lodge, 251 Bayside Road in Arcata. This talk explores food web responses to dam removal downstream of Iron Gate Dam during a critical period of juvenile salmonid growth and outmigration in the late spring. Go to rras.org to find out more. To submit your nonprofit event to the KZZH community calendar, go to kzzh.accesshumboldt.net and follow the community calendar link located near the top of the page. Your event information will be read twice a day, at noon and 5 p.m. on weekdays and at noon on the weekends. Your event information will also be shared on Access Humboldt TV's bulletin board. Access Humboldt, local voices through community media. For KZZH in Eureka, I'm Isabella Vanderheiden.
Is the Roots Force has not been able to get their jammers out in action, and what we've seen from North Bay is just a steady offensive attack. Once they got the lead, their jammers go ahead and call the jam off, go ahead and kind of take the air out of the ball, and they've rung up a sizable lead, 95-32. So second half to go. Raging Eddie looks like the jammer for Humboldt. I can't see the jammer just yet for North Bay. And action starts, the first jam of the second half, and Raging Eddie quickly out of the pack, and the animal is for North Bay, but it's Raging Eddie that's in scoring position, calling to her blockers, and interesting, called them to the outside and then cut into the inside. Oh, apex jump by Animal while Eddie is recycling back, and it's North Bay that gets the scoring jump. Good defense there. Paris Knott knocking down another player. Paris Knott has done a great job tonight with contact, and looks like the jam is going to get called off.
They're not messing around out there.
6-4. Well, I'll tell you something. It looked as if Humboldt had a tremendous advantage because Raging Eddie had broke loose, but knocked out, and then the defenders for North Bay were able to get back. She had to recycle back so far that Animal was able to catch back up and get into that scoring position. So here we go again. Scooby Derby Doo. Scoobs pushing hard here. This is only their third game of the season. And Scoobs pushing forward and being knocked out. It's going to have to recycle back. Lucille Balls goes all the way back to the original jam line and gets her that far back. Death Nettle now still being held up. Mad Plow, Malice in Wonderland, and Paris Knott doing the job there defensively in that triad. Here comes Scoobs down low to try to score.
Wow.
Great move to the outside and then knocked out. Going to have to recycle back. And once again, Lucille Balls all the way back to the jam line to get Scoobs to have to start from that far back. The star was passed. Right now, Violet Crime is the jammer for North Bay. Mad Plow looks like they've gone, or that's Malice in Wonderland, to the penalty box, along with Paris Knott. So Humboldt 2 players down. And the jam is called off. So Humboldt actually did outscore North Bay 4-0. And it's going to be like a Virgo for Humboldt. But Humboldt's going to start a couple players down. Only 3 on the rink. And a Death Metal Monk, that's who it is. Metal Monk had a clear sailing to get loose. Meanwhile, 5-on-3, Virgo's going to take on the entire North Bay team. Here comes Metal Monk, hard charging for a scoring pass, and right into Spins and Needles. They had a good night playing defense. Spins and Needles knocks down Metal Monk, but Metal Monk gets back up and slips through. Back on the track is Malice in Wonderland, who's going to hustle back and get on defense. Metal Monk taken to the track there on the far straightaway. Now in turn number 4, everything is gummed up, and it's Metal Monk that comes out of the pack. Want to remind folks that you're listening to 96.7 KZZH Eureka Community Radio from Access. Humboldt, want to also tell you that the Speakeasy Bar at 411 Opera Alley, New Orleans-inspired craft cocktails, music, an underwriter of the program for the last 2 years. Metal Monk is on a 12-0 run. This is exactly what doesn't need to happen for Root Force to start the second half. Spins and Needles driven out, and Metal Monk
Casually skates away.
Somebody sink the Bismarck, man. I mean, holy cow. Just doing a great job. Calling out plays. Blockers to the inside. Malice knocks Metal Monk out, and they're going to have to recycle way back. Metal Monk's just going to call off the jam there. 16 points, a 16-0 run, and a tremendous start to the second half for North Bay. 117 to 40, 25-18 to go. The story of the game really was in the first half. I figured that Root Force went about 7 minutes without scoring.
Wow. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
They are a strong team here.
They are a strong team, and right here is the most mysterious of their jammers, Mugshot Milo, being knocked out and is going to have to recycle back. Meanwhile, once again, as a jammer, I've never seen a jammer incur so many penalties
There
as
have been a
Poetic
lot of
Justice as tonight. And I guess calling Poetic Justice maybe for elbow or something, but for whatever reason, Poetic Justice has been a marked jammer by the referees. Mugshot Milo weaving their way through on the fourth turn and then calling off the jam. Or did they call off the jam? They got sent to the box, which immediately releases Poetic Justice. And Poetic Justice does a great job to get around. And Poetic Justice now with a chance to come around and do some scoring themselves. So Poetic Justice slipping by, spin move, turn move.
Nice.
And 2 turn moves, loose, and picking up some points. Throwing the arms in the air to get the crowd into it. And coming around for a second scoring run. Good blocking there ahead of him by Torque and Beans. And Poetic Justice finally held up, and then out of the penalty box, Mugshot Milo. So here comes Mugshot Milo for their scoring pass. Oh, Pork and Beans sends her to the turf. That was quite a shot. Poetic Justice is going to try to navigate through this chaos. And we've got whistles everywhere. And it looks like the jam was called off. Good job by Poetic Justice once they got out of the penalty box. Scoring 10 points. Humboldt wins the jam 10-8, but they're going to have to win jams by a lot more than just 2 points.
They got some territory to make up here.
125-50.
It can be done.
It can be done. 22-41 to go, but you're going to need like 2 or 3 of those 16-0 runs to get into the game. 22, resetting the clock, 22-47. This is the mysterious part of the game that, how do they know? They get together. There's no replay. We're not sending this back to New York for the league officials to
That's
review.
right. There's some black magic involved, I think.
There's some sort of
Incantation.
magic of the consultation.
Yeah. Read the tea leaves.
There you go. Bjorn Wicked looks like the jammer for Humboldt, and it's going to be the Animel for North Bay. Animel's had a high-scoring game. Not as much as a Metal Monk. Metal Monk has really scored in that 16-0 run was a killer to start the second half. Boy, Paris not really digging their head down and grinding to keep Animal out. Knocked out was Bjorn Wicked all the way to the bumpers on the right side. And they're going to have to recycle back. And because they cut the track, Bjorn Wicked's got to go to the box. And so Animal, it's a power jam. And I'll tell you, it's the Humboldt Jammers have just gone to the box too much. Too much power jam for North Bay Roller Derby. Animal calling out the signals. Team breaks into formation. Turn 4. And Animal on the inside. Fighting. Who's holding him up? Is that Wrench and Bridge of Casa Doom. And recycling out and smashing into the referee, Hellwood Blues, and decided to call that whole thing off. That was just a mess. Sometimes it's just an ugly scrum that just needs to be stopped.
Yeah.
It's unartful, and it has to be ended. An 8-0 run, though, for North Bay. You know, they've just been steady all night.
Well, Humboldt Roller Derby doesn't really reflect in the score, but I've seen some really great moves on them tonight too. They're behind, but they've been really moving well.
Getting their feet wet, this team.
Yep.
A lot of new players. You know, this is an important event for the B team to play a sanctioned game. And the reality is that, you know, you've got people coming out here, only the third bout for some of these players that made their debut earlier this fall. And the bottom line is that this North Bay team, just a little bit more experience, not a lot of bit more experience, and that's been the difference. Power jam for Route Force, and Bjorn Wicked is the jammer, but being pushed out and having to recycle back. Got a wall of blockers in front of her on tune number 4, and let's see if can go ahead and make a scoring pass, but not the case. Knocked out and have to recycle back. Kind of slowing down. I'll tell you what, believe it or not, November, heat could be getting to some of these players. Whistle blows on Death Nettle, and Death Nettle is headed to the box for cutting the track, and that's another jammer for North Bay in this case. But the jammers have really gone to the box tonight. Meanwhile, Bjorn Wicked looks gassed down here in the corner. Their first game as a jammer, trying to pass the star to the pivot, Mad Plow, and Mad Plow unable to get that pass. Bjorn Wicked still pushing on, and that's going to be the full 2-minute jam.
Yeah. Looking tired, I think, a little bit.
Yeah, looking real tired. But now here's an extraordinary. That's a full 2-minute jam without a point being scored. 133.50. Raging Eddie and Metal Monk. Metal Monk has been the jammer of the game for either team.
Agreed.
Metal Monk was the author of that 16-0 run to start the half. Raging Eddie knocked out immediately, has to recycle back. Metal Monk to the ground. Wrench and Parisnot. Boy, Parisnot giving it all they can. And Metal Monk just flips them all aside and heads into the clear to get ready for a scoring punch. But no, was called for a penalty. Still another jammer to the box. Meanwhile, Raging Eddie knocked out and has to recycle back. Knocked down. Lady Slipper. Tough as nails all night. And the pivot is passed to Malice in Wonderland, and Malice in Wonderland is taken out by Lady Slipper. Lady Slipper has knocked 2 different jammers out that have to recycle back in the same jam. Right now, the initial defense is She-Ra Badass. How about that for it?
No.
And that's Malice finally getting the best of Lady Slipper. Get that star on Malice. Let's score some points. Malice, of course, was on the broadcast last week. Little shake and bake. And get away on the outside. And then driven down by Lady Slipper. Little payback, and they got to recycle back. Meanwhile, Metal Monk doing what Metal Monk does best, is leave players in their wake. But that's going to cost. That's a penalty. Another penalty on a jammer. That one for throwing an elbow. So power jam. Malice held up, knocked out, and has to recycle back. We're at 16:52, about halfway through the second half. And I think the night might be catching up with some of these players. It is humid.
It is.
Chakra Punch was noting earlier, too, on a humid track, the skates sticky. That's going to be the jam called off. I think it's going to be 3 points awarded to North Bay and nothing
So
for
different,
Humboldt.
Paul, from last year at this time. It was freezing.
Yes. Franceschi Hall was brutal.
Yep.
I definitely dressed like an onion, not like a banana tonight. I brought many layers to combat that. But and I was thinking when I saw this date for the last bout of the year, it's like, man, that's a hard, cold floor, you know.
Yeah.
But not tonight. It's
still hard.
It's still hard. But we're in shirt sleeves. It's not cold. Doors are open. Franceschi Hall. There we go. You know, I'm glad we have the guy for the timeouts.
Yeah.
You know, this incredible, very human measure of time. So Humboldt was awarded 4 points, actually won the jam 4-3. 54 for Humboldt now, 136 for North Bay.
Lining up.
And it looks like they're going to keep the star. Is that Lady Slipper? No. It's Avril Lavigne. Avril Lavigne, who was in the first half. And fighting there. It is a power jam. The Humboldt Jammer is in the box, now out of the box. Finally, Malice in Wonderland. Avril Lavigne is being held up. Good job. Mad Plow, Paris Knot, Torque and Beans doing a good job holding up the jammer for North Bay, but Malice in Wonderland being held up themselves. Mad Plow breaks off to try to loosen up the triad with Malice in Wonderland, but unable to. Meanwhile, just fantastic defense. Both teams playing excellent defense, and nothing's happening. This
Looks
is
like a parking lot out there.
Yeah. Maybe a freeway, LA freeway at 5 o'clock or something. Okay, recycling back is Malice in Wonderland. And finally, Avril Lavigne breaks loose. Mad Plow has been given the star and a great pass. Plow, the pivot, is going to be chasing Avril Lavigne. Lavigne knocked to the ground. And because they're knocked to the ground, and Mad Plow really with a great job catching up, cutting the distance, wisely cutting the losses, so to speak, and calling off the jam was Avril Lavigne. Humboldt wins another session, but once again, it's just incremental, 3-1. Makes it 137-57. Cut the lead to 80. Both teams are going to start way back, so both jammers get a running start. And here's Scooby Derby Doo with some outstanding footwork, breaking loose. The Annie Mel is for for North Bay, and Scooby Derby Doo gets a couple of points and then calls off the jam.
That was some amazing skating right there.
It was. For 3 points, I'll tell you, that's hard-working points right there. And actually, they're going to give Annie Mal 4 points. So North Bay wins the jam 4-3, 13:40 to go. This is jam number 9, 141-60. I like the energy from Scooby Derby Doo tonight. And here's like a Virgo taking the outside lane and then catching.
Oh,
Knocked to the turf, knocked to the floor by She-Ra Badass. And that's Badass's role, I think.
people going down here and there.
Yep. So having to recycle back like a Virgo and then one-on-one with She-Ra right now. Meanwhile, in its death nettle, like a Virgo breaks loose. Death nettle, in the meantime, has to recycle back. Here comes like a Virgo. Great block right there by Torque and Beans. Oh, that was the best block of the night.
Love it.
An offensive block that sprung like a Virgo for some points. And here comes Virgo into She-Ra Badass breaking loose.
Again.
Is this the breakaway that we've needed? 8 points so far. The star has been passed for North Bay. I cannot see who Stinging Nettle gave it to. I think it's Lady Slipper. Parasnot is being sent to the box. There's a North Bay skater that's coming in from the box right now and another one heading back to it. And interestingly enough, it's a power jam now because it was the pivot, Lady Slipper, that has been called for the penalty and becomes another jammer to go to the box. Like a Virgo. Oh, run out by the hip check of She-Ra and calls off the jam, but it was Humboldt's most successful jam of the night. 12-0 and 141-72.
They come marching back.
Well,
Got a ways to go. The march
lot of
isn't
ways
over
to
yet.
go, but a
The
few-
march isn't over yet, but
No.
they have come a ways back.
it's a long march. I can't see the jammer for either side. It's Mad Plow who went ahead.
Yes.
Wow.
Wow.
Inside, outside, great moves, great energy, and big speed. Parasnot tried to cut off the Lady Slipper, the jammer for North Bay. We got a couple of pivots who have wound up as jammers. I'm really impressed with the speed of Mad Plow. 4 points there for Humboldt. That means they've outscored North Bay 16-0 in the last two jams. About just
That was
about
really
10
thrilling to watch. That
Yeah,
was,
well, you know, when the speed gets built up, but, you know, the fact that another jammer could catch up, somebody gets knocked out and have to recycle back, it takes away from that thrilling energy of the jammer with some speed. And, you know, that's what North Bay's been doing all night, is calling those jams off when they get that lead. So take the air out of the ball a little bit. The band with band with a version of China Grove. Chakra Punch is back. You again.
All right. I'm back.
Great to have you back. So you're back. Tell me about all the padding that you wear.
We have knee pads, elbow pads, and wrist guards, which I don't have on. And then, of course, my helmet.
And then those just aren't knee pads. Those are.
These are deluxe roller derby knee pads.
Now,
they have
is-
like extra cushioning inside, and they feel like clouds. I love them so
There you
much.
go. Now, is there a roller derby warehouse that you get these things from?
There are so many, actually.
Derby
Derby
Mart?
distributors. And here locally, still Stuff I Like off Broadway in Eureka. They are our local roller derby dealer, if you will.
Now, as a derby participant, are you responsible for your equipment?
Yeah.
The no team issued equipment.
No, it would be great if we were sponsored, but that's for the All-Stars.
That's for the All-Stars. There you go. Well, much better showing, I think, in the second half by Roots. They're actually outscoring the North Bay team. And we've seen some different energy. Mad Plow doing a great job as a pivot turn jammer. I think Spins and Needles has had a good game defensively. I'll tell you, Parisnod is 100%, 110% effort out there. Scooby Derby Doo, I think, is making a good showing as a jammer. So people playing some different positions, people getting in their first sanctioned bout. So, you know, maybe in some ways about what you'd expect, but in another way, some real silver linings.
We were just warming up the rollers. We're just warming up out in the parking lot.
Well,
we run around and we do our stretches, and it's like a team bonding and kind of recentering before we get out there together.
that's cool. Bjorn Wicked. And are they going against Mugshot Milo? They certainly are. The tail of the tape. Milo is knocked out by Hiss and Tell. And Bjorn Wicked still fighting. Milo breaks loose. Oh, Bjorn Wicked. What a tremendous surge. Knocking over AK-47. And then Milo out. You know, I've seen more jammers go to the box in this game than ever. Looks like the jam will be called 4-4 draw on that particular jam. 9:37 to go. Are there referees that pay more attention to certain aspects of the game? Are they going to see in penalties that jammers go ahead and commit?
Well, we have a dedicated jam ref whose only job is to look at the jammer and watch for penalties.
So and I'll tell you, Poetic Justice has had a tough night, been called for a lot of penalties. And Metal Monk is loose on a power jam. But by no means is Poetic Justice the only jammer that's been having penalties called against him. I think everybody pretty much except this one right here, Metal Monk. Even when they've passed the star, it seems like the pivots are getting penalties. Metal Monk around turn 2 and in the far straightaway, and just really not getting much resistance from the Root Force defense. Of course, they were a skater down. Parisnot and Poetic Justice back in off the penalty bench, and teams are at full strength now. And now that it's at full strength, it's kind of gummed up a bit. And Metal Monk broken loose, but in no hurry to engage the pack. Clock ticking. Clock is the friend of North Bay right now. Metal Monk pushing. And through. $161-80. Torque and Beans involved in some pushing and shoving in there. Metal Monk taken down by Malice in Wonderland. What a hit that was. And I can see Torque and Beans has the star as the pivot, but had yet to put it on, so we couldn't tell. But that's why Torque and Beans was fighting their way through. My goodness, that was a 20-0. Metal Monk has had a 16-0 and a 20-0 run.
I saw
in
on
this
that
game.
jam the North Bay offense was really great, and that's why Metal Monk was having such an easy time, because they would go in and split up the Roots pack so that Metal Monk could just swim through.
And that's what happened. Raging Eddie and Death Nettle. It looked like Metal Monk was a leisurely swim.
Woo!
Boy, packing a punch is Death Nettle and straddling the line and breaking loose. What a nice job of skating that was. Meanwhile, Raging Eddie breaks loose but gets called for a penalty. Still another jammer with a penalty. Death Nettle breaks to the inside. Looked like they were outside the line, but kind of when they entered, there was enough of the recycle to go ahead. Now Raging Eddie to the inside. Wrench tried to throw a hip check, but didn't get over there fast enough. And Death Nettle took the inside bout. So a little over 5.5 minutes left in the bout. 173-80. Jam called off by Death Nettle. It was a power jam as Eddie was in the box. So Mad Plow is going to be the jammer again, and Bjorn Wicked, who I had not seen jam, but you say is in the jam rotation for the second game. Bjorn Wicked is now a blocker. Bjorn Wicked, I believe, is the only player that's going both games. And Mad Plow looking to pass the star. The pivot is right in front of Mad Plow. It's Torque and Beans. Meanwhile, Annie Mall running into Paris Knott, Bjorn Wicked, and Malice in Wonderland. Great defense here. Doing a great job. Getting the bodies on, keeping, and finally breaking Lewis's Animal. And Animal will be alone coming around turn one and into turn two and getting ready to get into scoring position. And to the inside with an apex jump. Apex jump right into the shoulder of Malice in Wonderland and down to the inside of the track. Mad Plow knocked out. It's going to have to recycle back behind Scarlet Bronte. And whistles, and that's going to be the end of that jam. Want to thank Rennie Public Law Group for providing legal services to public agencies throughout California, practicing public law in the public interest. Find out more at RenniePublicLawGroup.com. Also, want to thank A to Z Eye Care, dedicated to providing the community with quality vision care through education, technology, and excellent service. Find out more at their website, A to Z Eye Care.com, and then also the Speakeasy, a New Orleans-inspired custom-built bar, seasonal craft cocktails, local fresh ingredients, live jazz and blues music, and more, located at 411 Offer Street. Really want to thank the officials here for having a timeout right when we needed to read the underwriters. 3:40 to go, 183.80. Do you review your games?
They're always recorded. Trey U is over there in that corner recording. And so we get the footage afterwards and we do review it. It's hard to watch yourself. You see all the things. It's like, oh, I should have gotten low in that moment. I should have I don't know, XYZ, you know?
Right, exactly. Things that you didn't see that. But is that a great learning activity to have that time to look at that, to look at yourself?
Definitely.
I mean, you can look at all of video of the freight train,
Yes.
but seeing yourself on the outside, it's Aberlino
Oh,
taken
Wrench.
out. Wrench, who has had a tough game, whiffed on some hits, did a great job there. And Scooby Derby Doo, Scoobs is loose. And I could tell that Scoobs wants to really be a star. On the outside, calling it off.
Skated through with zero resistance.
Scoobs has got that look, you know, that they're into this, man. So anyway, 183.84 cut the lead to 99 with 2:49 to go. Oh. Whistle blows, and here we go with Like a Virgo. Pack is moving really fast. That's one of the fastest packs I've ever seen off the start of the jam. And both jammers were able to get loose. It's Like a Virgo being chased by Metal Monk. And Like a Virgo goes down. And Metal Monk, the seasoned pro that she is, just looks at that and avoids all contact. And we have the jam called up. 1:52 to go. Metal Monk, obviously the jammer of the match. Wound up being a 4-3 in favor of North Bay. So the lead is an even 100. I liked what you said in the first half, and I think what I would say to my blockers was that little saying you gave us, find a buddy.
Yes.
I think they've gotten too broken up.
Yeah. The more tired you get, the harder it is.
So that's the Animal. Poetic Justice. They had a rough night. Trying to look to pass the pivot. Paris Knot is the pivot, but the pivot is being blocked by the North Bay player, Lucille Balls, and not allowed to get to the jammer. Meanwhile, Annie Mel scoring at will. Poetic Justice has to recycle back. And here comes the Annie Mel. And apex jump. What an apex jump that was. Wow. Clearing the inside. Paris Knot finally with the star and a lot of speed. And it looks like the jam's going to get called off. 15 seconds to go in the bout.
Squeaked out 2 points there at the end.
199.89. Nope, make that 201 to 89. This is going to be the last jam of the night.
I think they're done.
Well, or they're going to call it. That's the ball game. 201 to 89. North Bay from the Santa Rosa area comes north and really plays a strong, steady, consistent game and takes out Root Force in a sanctioned B bout, 201 to 89. Comments?
All of the Bay Area teams are so strong, and honestly, any teams that we've skated against that come from a place where they're nearby a lot of other teams, so they get to practice a lot, and they all like continue to build each other up a lot. They tend to be really strong. I don't know. Yeah, we're kind of remote out here. We just get to skate against ourselves.
Well, I don't think that. I think it's obvious that places that have greater population to pull
Yes.
from
Yes,
are
that's
going to
it.
have a distinct advantage at every level, A, B, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
However, pound for pound, with what is available, the Humboldt Roller Derby is amazing.
Yes. And considering that a substantial amount of the routes tonight are very new, and yet they were
Right.
still holding their own, and they didn't let the spread get outrageously bad, Like, so
Right.
give it another season, and those players are going to be so strong.
And hopefully they're going to be excited and hungry because they certainly got a taste of it tonight. Well, Chakra Punch, hope we get to call your number a lot in the next game. You're great. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Second time, I hope that you'll be on the broadcast next season,
Yeah,
too.
this is fun. I like this.
Right on. Good for you. So we're going to send it back to the station. 201-89, the score there. The next game coming up is going to be the Redwood Rollers and a very mysterious team from the Oakland area. Misery Loves Company.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they call themselves. And that will be a regulation bout. So we'll see you in a few minutes. Once again, from Franceschi Hall, 201 for North Bay, 89 for Humboldt. And we'll be back in about 15 minutes.
Rock Media.
Welcome to the KZZH Community Calendar for the week starting Friday, November 14th, 2025. On Friday, November 14th, do you have taste for the classics? If so, you'll like the EHS Players, The Visions of Cassandra, from 7:30 to 10 p.m. at the Eureka High School Auditorium, 1915 J Street. This is an original Greek tragedy adapted from the Iliad by Homer and the Trojan Women by Euripides. Focused on the young, prophetic princess Cassandra, the story explores the love and grief of a family burdened by ongoing conflict 9 years into the Trojan War. Get more information and admission pricing by emailing needhamc@eurekacitischools.org or by calling 707-441-2537. Also on Friday, among your other theater options is Getting Dark, 3 one-act comedies starting at 7 p.m. at the Exit Theater, 890 G Street in Arcata. These are 3 new short plays by Daniel Lehman, directed by Wendy Butler. Go to theexit.org for more information. Finally, on Friday, there will be a Downtown and Old Town holiday open house from 5 to 8 p.m. in historic Old Town Eureka on 2nd Street. Enjoy music, treats, live music, food trucks, in-store specials, a prize drawing, and more. Email Eureka Main Street at eurekaca.gov or call 707-441-4187 to find out more. On Saturday, November 15th, strap on your running shoes for the Veterans Day at McKay 5K, 10K, and Community Connections Fair starting at 10 a.m. at the McKay Community Forest, 3100 Hare Street in Eureka. All festivities, the race and the after party, take place in the community forest. Hang around after to cheer on finishers, enjoy the award ceremony, and barbecue. Also on Saturday, get ready for Kuna's Disaster Preparedness Block Party from 12 to 3 p.m. at the Kuna Resilience Hub and Family Resource Center, 4700 Valley East Boulevard in Arcata. Learn essential disaster preparedness skills and pick up free disaster preparedness go-bag supplies. There will be live music, kids' activities, resource booths, interactive demonstrations, and a Taquiza taco bar catered by Los Quiles Taqueria. Finally, on Saturday, get ready to rumble at the Humboldt Roller Derby's final home game of the season at Redwood Acres Franceschi Hall starting at 6 p.m. Stuck at home or at work? Access Humboldt has got you covered. We will live stream video of the games on Access Humboldt's YouTube page, on Optimum Channel 8, and broadcast descriptions on KZZH 96.7. Don't miss a second of the red-hot action. On Sunday, November 16th, don't miss the Wine and Jazz from 3 to 5 p.m. at the Morse Graves Museum of Art, 636 F Street in Eureka. This is a monthly performance series highlighting Humboldt County performers. This week, it's music by Andrew Barnett and Francis Vanek. Your regular admission covers everything. Go to HumboldtArts.org for the details. Also on Sunday, don't be afraid. Embrace Fundamentals of Clown with Jeff Raz from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Arcata Playhouse, 1251 9th Street. Explore the fundamentals of clowning with Jeff Raz in this workshop for all skill levels. There's a modest suggested donation, but no one will be turned away for lack of funds. Go to arcadaplayhouse.org for more information. Finally, on Sunday, there will be a Eureka Waterfront guided birding trip from 9 to 11 a.m. on the Eureka Waterfront, foot of Del Norte Street. This relatively urban trail offers the potential to observe species abundance and diversity. Email thebook@renanet.com to sign up. You may also go to rras.org to find out more. On Monday, November 17th, everyone knows the first rule of the Ukulele Fight Club of Humboldt from 6 to 8 p.m. HLOC space at 92 Sunnybury Center in Arcata. Bring a ukulele and join the fun. Check the calendar at ukulelefightclubofhumboldt.com for cancellations and additional events. All levels are welcome, and there's a modest suggested donation. On Tuesday, November 18th, attention entrepreneurs, there will be a lightning pitch clinic, fast feedback, new connections, from 5:30 to 7 p.m. at Startup Humboldt, 876 7th Street in Arcata. The Startup Humboldt competition is a high-impact regional initiative designed to grow scalable businesses, create jobs, and strengthen Humboldt's economy. Go to startuphumboldt.org or call 707-840-4940 to find out more. Also on Tuesday, you are invited to the Writers Group from 12:30 to 2 p.m. at Christ Episcopal Church, 1428 8th Street in Eureka. Writers will share all types of writing and get assistance from one another. Drop-ins are welcome, and this is not a faith-based event. Finally, on Tuesday, improve your English skills with English Express, an online English language class for adults. You can build English language confidence in ongoing online and in-person classes. All levels and first languages are welcome. Join anytime, and pre-registration is not required. Go to EnglishExpressEmpowered.com or call 707-443-5021 to find out more. On Wednesday, November 19th, don't miss Katie Moulton, Maker's Apron, from 12:30 to 1 p.m. at the Eureka Women's Club, 1531 J Street. Katie Moulton will be speaking about her business, Maker's Apron, Creative Reuse. Bring a brown bag lunch and visit with members starting at noon. Dessert and beverage will be provided. The speaker is from 12:30 to 1 p.m. Email susantobias2015@gmail.com or call 408-848-4662. On Thursday, November 20th, come to the third Thursday Talk Series with Redwood Community Energy Authority, starting at 7 p.m. at the Humboldt Grange, 501 4845 Humboldt Hill Road in Eureka. Learn more about the RCEA and what they do and what they can do for you. The event is free and open to the public. Also on Thursday, check out the food web responses to Klamath Dam removal from 7 to 9 p.m. at the Six Rivers Masonic Lodge, 251 Bayside Road in Arcata. This talk explores food web responses to dam removal downstream of Iron Gate Dam during a critical period of juvenile salmonid growth and outmigration in the late spring. Go to rras.org to find out more. To submit your nonprofit event to the KZZH community calendar, go to kzzh.accesshumboldt.net and follow the community calendar link located near the top of the page. Your event information will be read twice a day, at noon and 5 p.m. on weekdays and at noon on the weekends. Your event information will also be shared on Access Humboldt TV's bulletin board. Access Humboldt, local voices through community media. For KZZH in Eureka, I'm Isabella Vanderheiden.
Welcome back to Franceschi Hall. We're here between games, and we have a special guest, a player from the Redwood Rollers. Trey has joined us. Hey, Trey.
What's up? This is Trey. Oh, there I am. Hey,
There
this
you
is
are.
This is Atreyu.
Atreyu.
Yeah. Well,
And-
we were friends, so I was introducing you to myself as Trey, but it's Atreyu on the team.
Atreyu on the
Yeah.
team. And what does that name mean?
Warrior of the Purple Buffalo, that kind of androgynous warrior. It's from Never Ending Story, and it's
There
a
you
great
go.
name to yell.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. So, and last time we saw you, you were out on the track, and I must say, a very exciting jammer.
Yeah,
That,
it's a blast.
and-
It's always nice when it works out, we say.
Well, and why not tonight?
Unfortunately, that first game in September that I skated, I was super hungry, super excited to come back. It's been a minute since I skated a game with Humboldt Roller Derby. Didn't retire, just took a break. But yeah, got injured at the end of that first game, and I was supposed to skate that second game, and I was really looking forward to it. But I don't know, it's part of the game we play. When you get injured, you gotta sit it out.
Where
So-
are you in the injury process now?
honestly, I thought it would just be a couple of weeks, but it was a pretty bad ankle injury. Just messed up all the tissues and tendons right in the ball of the ankle. So I probably got about another couple of weeks to go. I was really trying to skate this game, but on Thursday, finally had to make that for realistic decision. And I can skate, but I can't do all the derby stuff in the way that I like the derby. So
let me ask you this question. How long have you been skating in the Derby?
see, I've been skating over 10 years, probably at least 10, 12. Yeah, 12 years plus.
Is this the first time you've had an injury?
It's probably no, it's not the first injury. It's probably the second worst injury. I sprained my neck really bad at the
Oh,
end of a tournament we had in Canada. But
wow.
then we had a
in
big
Canada?
break. Yeah, it was a blast. We won the whole tournament.
You won a tournament? When did Redwood
Yes.
Rollers
yeah,
do that?
We did an international tournament. It was end of 2018, I think.
Wow. Before
or 2019.
up in
But
Canada.
it was right before COVID. We were ready to come, get to the next level, and then we just got closed down.
Did COVID derail the
Yeah, 100%.
ascension to the next level?
Yeah. Yeah.
And did you lose skaters that were on that team that had
Yeah.
been successful in Canada?
Yeah, I mean, I think we can say this for a lot of things that happened through that period. We just learned about ourselves in different ways. So some vet skaters came back, some skaters moved, some realized,
Right.
whoa, this is what it's like to have a weeknight again, across the board.
And then was that across the board through the levels of the team? You had to build it back up in that
Yeah,
way?
definitely. Kind of figure out where we are, what our experience level was. And we had such a good traction with our training camp leading to the rosters, and then we just had to rebuild, across the board.
Has it been rebuilt?
I think we're finally at a level of our league, and I've taken a break for a minute, so I got to say this, from a distance, but I think we're finally at a level to really get strategic again in terms of elevating to the next level.
And then that's a question I'd like to ask. We saw a sanctioned bout here
Sure.
in the B teams
Yeah.
earlier this evening. So many of the bouts are against areas that have a much greater population.
Yeah.
So greater population, greater number of players to pull
Yeah.
from. And so it seems like, it's always an uphill climb in a sense for rollers and root fours.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think this is, when we talk about strategy and how we can make some other decisions to put the most competitive team forward, that's kind of the conversations I think the team and the league is having right now. There's adjustments that can be made to really put out the fiercest packs, the fiercest jammers, put the jammers against, certain jammers from the other team, really dig in. I think we're just still in this kind of, regular rotation rather than really looking at the skill sets of our players and our you know, the strengths of our players.
Do
to
you have
match up.
rotating coaches for the games?
You know, right now, the way HRD works, the coaches get voted in every season, and sometimes there's some consistency, but I think they're just starting to kind of understand, you know, the realm of the spot. But it's a hard thing to do. You got 40 pretty strong, opinionated humans out there all wanting to say and how it works and how it should work.
But
And then you got the coaches trying to do
would
the
it be
best.
good to get, you know, for lack a hard ass that would be out there
Well,
and
I
make
mean,
those
this
decisions?
is what the team has to continue to talk about and then decide what they want it to look like, you know? And right now they're just trying to get everyone to a skating level, get everyone some track time, some game time. Because if you put people in and you make those adjustments, not everyone gets to skate, you know?
Correct.
So they got to have those conversations and figure out what they want.
And you got to, you know, you've got to build that depth, and the
Yeah.
only way to get that depth is to get people playing.
Yeah.
But that was what I would think root force would be for.
Yeah, I mean, we got good depth, but it's how to really kind of pinpoint the skill sets to play those competitive games and then utilize the depth to build off of that. But I think we're just kind of doing this like even keel for each of these teams when we could elevate it a little bit. That's my opinion, and I will participate in the conversations with the skaters to figure
Is
it
that
out.
a conversation that is widespread amongst the team?
Yeah, we continue to come back to it every month. We have what's athletics meeting to really talk about, you know, strategy proposals and how we want rosters to work and what does being a competitive team mean to us on game day, so that we can, you know, then impart that information to the coaches, and then the coaches can make the best decision on part of the skaters.
Are these players meetings
Yeah.
or are these
Yeah.
meetings with coaches?
For the skaters, by the skaters. So anyone can go to the athletics meetings, and then the coaches and the captains really take that information and put it into play, or take it or leave it, right?
Can those discussions get heated?
Oh, 100%. And that can go on and on and on. But that's what I said. Fierce, amazing humans, all got strong, important things to say. We're going to be here a minute.
That's amazing. Now, is it all cool when they end? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like, you know, I think one of my favorite sayings is like, no one can take Derby away from you, and you should never take Derby away from someone else. And I think there's always that mutual collective respect at the end of the day. We all kind of maybe look for a little something different out of our game and our expectation, but at the end of the day, it's a fun sport, and we're all here for it.
well, but you know,
But
It's a-
I like to be competitive.
okay. Now, I understand, and I do too. But here is something. Okay,
Yeah,
now you can get me up to speed
yeah.
derby wise.
All right, let's
All
go.
right, it's not a recreational sport.
I don't think so.
It is not
But
a,
although
a
I will say there
casual
are-
endeavor.
Nah, there can be a rec team, and I think sometimes we play a little bit too much like a rec team in these last couple of years. We're finally getting up to being a competitive team again, which is very exciting.
Because you know, the commitment it takes and the intensity that I see and the hitting that goes on.
Yeah. And, you know, going back to your other question, I wanted to just also mention before COVID and when we were really like, you know, the trajectory of the peak of Humboldt Roller Derby. I mean, we were out of 400 plus teams ranked like, I don't know, in the 70s for a little bit for our like rural league. That was a big deal, right? So we're chasing up the rankings, but we've also fed out some top-notch players to some of the best teams. Like they'll skate and learn at HRD, and then they'll go to play to Rose City and play in the championships. We have another skater who played with HRD. She's now skating for Team Sweden because she met her partner at, I don't know, the global roller derby championships, married up, and now plays for Team Sweden.
Well, how did a player go from Humboldt Roller Derby to Rose City? Did they move to
They
Portland?
moved to Portland, and then they
Were they scouted? Did the Portland team say, hey, man, it would be great if you lived in Portland?
No, they moved to Portland, and Rose City is the #1 team.
Right.
So they tried out, and they made it, and then they were playing the champs that same year. It was Drone Maiden. I don't know if you remember that skater.
No.
Yeah.
I'm a
And we've had two another skater skated the regionals in the Bay Area. I'm blanking on her name, but I'll remember later tonight.
Okay, there you go. So the reality, though, is that Humboldt has had skaters of that quality
Oh yeah, 100%.
in time. And
Down the
Chakra
line.
Punch just told me that
Yeah, man.
they were
she
at
just
the
did a
tournament in
Hawaii
Hawaii.
tournament.
Right.
Yeah, Swagger and Chakra skating with Freight Train. What a blast, huh?
That was Chakra's hero is Freight
yeah,
Train.
and then skating on the same team on some island, right? The
Yeah,
amazing
there you
things
go.
that this sport will get you to.
Is that encouraged to have your players go out and play
yeah,
in
man,
the?
all the experience, getting to play with other players, just realize it's
You
not
risk
all in
injury,
this bubble.
though.
I mean, you risk injury when I talking to someone who's injured right now. We risk it when we play our own team.
Right.
So it's part of the sport. We do our best.
And I would assume every player has that injury story.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully it's like fewer and far between, but I think we're doing pretty good. in
That's
terms
why
of
I say it's
injuries.
not a casual endeavor.
No, it's definitely not. No.
I mean,
No, it's pretty. It's pretty.
hiking
pretty
is
silly.
casual.
I just say at the end of the day, we're just going in circles, right? With a couple of things in the way.
There you go. What else are you looking for when you're watching the program right now?
When I'm watching the game here.
Yeah, I mean, you had a lot of players that was their first sanctioned event this last game, and you had players that, have just started onto the bigger bouts this fall. So that was a real test for them in that first game. I mean, is that something that you paid a lot of attention to?
Yeah, again, depending on like what level we're talking about, I feel like maybe there could have been some adjustments made, because it was such a extensive range of experience in that game. You definitely had some skaters with a little bit more experience and some brand new. And if they were going to keep the same packs and the same jammers in that rotation, I think you just got to go to baselines, right? Remember the basics, like get together, the jammer, of course you're trying to get out, but if you're not out first, what's the next step, and then get on to the next jam. So you got to just return to basics when things are getting a little bit of a hot mess,
I think also to me watching is that you got to get the speed up.
Yeah. I mean, the jammers maybe do. It's, ever since like 2017 when slower packs were the thing and like some of the rules changed, you just have a little bit slower derby altogether because you don't get too much fast derby unless you get, fast moving packs, fast moving jammers, and they're chasing each other a bit. But for the most part, the way that derby and defense goes now is you're trying to contain them. You're trying to, get them stuck. Well, of course, you're advancing your jammer, but there's not as much, kind of a quick whip derby anymore.
Has that evolved in your time? You've
Yeah.
seen that evolution?
Yeah, 100%. When I started, it was just like mayhem. Just go, man. You're just trying to go as fast as you can. But now there's like, people are in these more defensive tripods. There wasn't like tripods when I started. It was just all more like man on man, if you will.
Really?
Yeah,
And that's been a
one-on-one
rules
action.
change that has happened or,
You know,
or just an evolution?
A little of both. I think there was some rules that kind of made that happen. And then Victoria from Australia, man, they just blew our minds with some strategy. And then everyone started doing it.
And then how did you see Victoria from Australia?
They came over to do the divisionals and then played the championships. They won Gotham finally, 2016, I think. And then Rose City started to be the #1 nonstop.
There you go. I'm going to do the station ID.
right.
You're listening to KZZH 96.7 Eureka Community Radio from Access Humboldt. And then also want to take care of our underwriter, the Speakeasy. They underwrite this radio broadcast, a New Orleans-inspired custom-built bar, seasonal craft cocktails, local fresh ingredients, live jazz and blues music, and more, located at 411 Opera Alley in Eureka. Well, getting ready to start. You're not going to do the game?
I guess
with it?
not. Maybe, hopefully, I'll get in on one of these someday with you, but no, not tonight.
I hope
don't
you
think.
do.
I hope I do too. It's
you've
been such
great.
a pleasure. I'm a big fan of you. I come in tossing around a lot, but
Well,
I got nothing but love.
Yeah, I need to be. I need to I'm like a lot of people that have started to come out to this.
Yeah.
I think I'm seeing some of the nuances.
Yeah.
And just really falling in love with watching the game. And
a recommendation for maybe the listeners and you, if you ever want to check it out, Rose City, if you ever get a chance to check out their broadcast, they have by far the best broadcast, free on YouTube. And then their announcers, their announcing style, and they run a good strategy and good stats while they do it too.
I've noticed up in Oregon, I was saying this earlier to Chakra Punch, is that a lot of local broadcasts are high production value because, it's just a state that doesn't have a big professional presence in anything, and they just take a lot of pride in their local teams.
Yeah. Blaze Media, they just been together for a while, and so they just got a good thing going up there.
Oh, yeah. Check them out.
Oh, please do. But it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Yes, have a good evening.
All right, till next time.
Yes. All right. Well, I don't know who else we have coming in, but we're getting ready for the start of this one. Misery Loves Company is the team, and they are from the Oakland area. We have another announcer coming in.
My name is Volcano.
So Misery Loves Company was established the Bay Area Derby in 2004. They hail from Oakland, California. They have 4 teams in their league there in Oakland, California. They put together 2 competitive travel teams. This is one of them. The Bay Area Derby's community involvement include participating in the San Francisco Pride Parade, skating at the Piedmont 4th of July Parade, and supporting various fundraisers for nonprofits around the Bay. Who may I ask am I talking to?
My name is Volcano.
Volcano, and you're on the team?
Yes, I skate for Humboldt Roller Derby.
Okay, but not tonight, huh?
No, not tonight. Tonight I took the night off to be here with you.
There you go.
Yes.
Well, we'll look for your insight in the game coming up. Have you ever skated against this team?
I have not.
And you skate for the Rollers or Root Force?
I skate with Root Force. I skate with the Root Force.
You skate with Root Force. Okay, so here we go. Players being announced. Reminded that this is a regulation game, not a sanctioned game. And starting out, Bjorn Wicked looks like the only player that's going to wind up being in both bouts tonight. So regulation game, 2 30-minute halves. Misery Loves Company coming out to the line to start. Can't tell who their jammer is just yet. Got to have a look at the number. Looks like it's Bubbles, number 7. And for Humboldt,
That is Muscles.
Muscle Mommy getting the call on the rotation. So Bubbles and Muscle Mommy. Humboldt starts on the jam line. And Misery Loves Company will slowly make their way to it. And we are off. And Stranger Danger trying to deal with Bubbles, but Bubbles breaks loose. So the pack is pushing away. Bubbles coming around for the first scoring opportunity of the night. Little shake and bake inside and outside. Pushing, and then to the inside is going to go ahead and break loose and call off the jam before Muscle Mommy had a chance to get into scoring position. So 4 quick points. That was kind of the strategy we saw in the last game with North Bay. They'd get a few points and then call that jam off, and then they really kept a lid on the Root Force in that first game, not being able to score. They went over 6 minutes without a point. We'll see if that's the same kind of strategy here. Looks like Cloverkill cannot see for Misery Loves Company. But a tenacious Lynx, a tenacious jammer working that line.
White jammers out.
Cloverkill passing the star to Rotten Tula Core, who's being taken on wonderfully by Rocks, who's going to go ahead and recycle her out. And, whoa, an apex jump of great proportion. Then out goes Lynx. He's got to recycle back. And Lynx with tremendous power and speed showing early in this jam and then finally through on the inside. Meanwhile, Tula unable to break loose, getting that pass from the pivot. And here comes Lynx looking for scoring on the outside. Broken up, and the jam's going to be called off.
Got some very strong players in this game.
Starting out, strength and speed for Misery Loves Company. White jerseys, black piping. Very nice logo, the MLC.
Number 13, looks like we have Panda as our jammer for Misery Loves Company.
Okay, Panda, it's going to be Furious George for Humboldt. And here we go. Furious George pushing. Panda being held up. Good defense there by Humboldt. Peaches and Scream in there. And Furious George breaks loose. They're the lead jammer.
Looks like there's some confusion on the
And there is a power jam because being sent to the box is Panda. Furious George pushing and run out. So recycling back down here in turn one. Furious George going against that strong line of Misery Loves Company. George down on a knee. All 4 Misery Love Company are working. Then a great scheme by Humboldt. George looked to break loose and then was dropped by Hearst, the captain of Misery Loves Company. And go ahead and call off the jam. 3 points for Humboldt, 12-3. What do you see early?
A lot of strength out there. Strong blockers and jammers, both.
Misery Loves Company. I don't know how they choose their teams to make the trip, but they are obviously, they've played together before, some real good coordination blocker-wise.
Yeah, these blockers are very strong.
Chakra Punch in their first turn on the night was in the booth in the first game. Chakra Punch driving just back from Hawaii in that tournament they played in. Great job there by Otter Pop to spring Chakra Punch. Meanwhile, Panda being held off. Sprocket Rocket, Cloverkill, or Sprocket Rocket and Stranger Danger, Mod Behavior, all on defense. The pivot has been passed. Chakra Punch knocked out, has to recycle back. Rocks and K or Faye on defense. All of the Misery Loves Company one name nicknames. Maybe just for the traveling team. Chakra Punch breaks loose and tightens the game a bit. 12-7 now in favor of Misery Loves Company.
Looks like we got a
Punch takes on defenders and knocks them over. A real surge by Punch. One-on-one with Panda. One-on-one with Panda on the near side. And Punch is going to get past. Exhausted. Tremendous effort. 8-0 run has made it 12-11.
We got a couple of blockers in the box.
Couple of blockers out in front. Now the jam is being called off. An 8-3 advantage for Humboldt on that one. It is 15-12. Lucille Ball's running the defense for Misery Loves Company. They were in the first game skating for North Bay. Breaking loose. Muscle Mommy. Meanwhile, driven out is number 7, Bubbles. Muscle Mommy comes in. Huge contact there. Number 125, Audrey. Muscle Mommy breaks loose and calls off the jam.
Good way to put points on the board.
4 points, and Redwood Rollers take the lead. 16-15, a much better start for Humboldt in this game. But I'll tell you, there is some intense hitting. It'd be incredible to see if both teams can keep the pace, the intensity that this game has started with. Cloverkill looking for a lane. And it's a great move to the outside by Lynx. And Cloverkill being held up one-on-one with Rocks. Breaks loose. Here comes Lynx in a scoring jam. Mod behavior. Boy, Lynx has got the apex jump and gets by Humboldt. Tula throwing the last elbow there. But as she spun around, she called off the jam. A 4-0 score. And it's 19-16 in favor of Misery Loves Company.
Wait, these are some short jams. They're just collecting points and calling off fast.
That's a strategy, though, right?
Yeah.
You got to go. They want to get the points, and before Humboldt has a chance to respond, looks like Furious George and Panda. Furious George for the Rollers. Pushing. Breaking to the outside. Wow.
That was tremendous.
Panda breaks loose as well, but it's George that's going to have the first chance to score. And now George is on a power jam because Panda has been sent to the box. Saw a lot of jammers sent to the box in that first game.
This is quite an opportunity.
An opportunity for Humboldt, down by 3. And Furious George pushing, moving ahead. And Furious George. Good block there. Stranger danger. Taking Lucille Balls out of the play and springing George for points. Back on Jess Stroyer, who was in the penalty box. George mixed up with 4 of the Misery Love Company. Got to recycle back and gets hit by Panda and calls off the jam. Panda had taken off the star and was looking for the pivot and smashed into George. It is a 5-0 advantage on that jam. 21-19 now in favor of Humboldt. Chakra Punch is the Humboldt jammer. It looks like Bubbles again for
Bubbles is very agile.
Misery Loves Company. Bubbles is agile. Bubbles pushing. Chakra Punch. Chakra Punch likes to do it straight ahead.
She's around on the outside, Bubbles.
Bubbles breaks loose. Here we go. Bubbles calling off for her blockers to go ahead and make a play, and they do just that. Great job. Chakra punch to the penalty box, and that means power jam for Misery Loves Company up at 23-21. And really, this is a fast pack going ahead and laying moving screens. Really good. Slam Chowder trying to put the last defense on Bubbles, but Bubbles gets through. Very effective for Misery Love Company to have that pack moving and not let Humboldt get set up in their tripods. So Humboldt trying to get that defensive set now and holding Sprocket Rocket driving. Chowder drives Bubbles out. Chakra Punch back in the action. Bubbles being held up. And Chakra Punch trying to pull out some points for Humboldt. 8-0 on the jam so far in favor of Misery Loves Company. And Chakra Punch driven to the ground in the inside of the track. So she off the track. Bubbles.
Still in the lead.
Yeah, still in the lead. 24 seconds still to go in a jam. This is a 12-0 jam.
She's a very physical jammer, which is
very physical.
Yeah.
Turning in and out. Able to withstand the Humboldt attack. What makes a jammer so effective?
Endurance.
Endurance.
You have to have endurance in order to jam. It's very hard. I've tried it.
16-0 on that jam. Outstanding by Bubbles. 35-21. Explain that to our audience.
To jam, it takes a lot out of you. You have to be physical. You have to have stamina and endurance. It's very hard. It takes a lot out of you, especially if you're like me and you're older. It's very hard.
Well, it looks like Muscle Mommy for Humboldt. And Jammer
on the inside.
Panda for the Misery Loves Company. Muscle Mommy getting some real speed.
White Jammer
calling out a play. Breaking to the inside. Getting knocked down. Knocked down by number 20. That's Cat. The big Cat. Making the play.
Collecting her points and calling it off.
Just one, though. One for each team. 36-22. You know, we had the rarity in the first bout of the night, a full 2-minute jam where neither team scored a point.
That's unheard of.
Who'd have thunk it?
That's an exhausting game, right? That's an exhausting thing right there. Nobody wants a 2-minute jam. Those are exhausting.
Lynx got recycled back. Cloverkill trying to push ahead. Lucille Balls, who's been nails all night for both teams, is playing great there. Meanwhile, Lynx keep getting punched around. Tula, Rotten Tula Core doing a great job.
Looks like we have a jammer going to the box.
And that's Lynx. So power jam, Cloverkill, who has the star in her hand, thinking that they were going to pass to the pivot, but now they're going to go ahead and be on a power jam following mod behavior. And Chowder dumped right in front of Cloverkill. Cloverkill pushing.
Trying to stretch out those blockers.
And Knocked Out's going to have to recycle back.
It's a good strategy.
Still on the power jam and breaks loose. So that's going to be 4 fingers in the air. That's going to be 4 points. Here comes Lynx back in. Lynx had the star off.
In her hand.
And running into that tripod and then getting around it. What a job.
She decided to keep it, putting it back on.
Decided to keep it and scored points. Cloverkill ahead in this jam 8-4, but Lynx with a clever move on that last pass picked up 4 and now is being driven to the ground down there in turn 4. Cloverkill on the inside keeps going.
Lynx is close behind her.
Cloverkill 12-8 on this jam, a high-scoring jam. 20 points between the two teams. And Cloverkill has another pass. Another 4 points for Cloverkill. That's a full 2-minute jam, and that's a 16-8 differential in score in favor of Humboldt. 45-38 after 10 jams, and we're at the 14:20 mark. Got some piped-in music. The band is not going here in the second game. What's going on?
Taking a break, I suppose.
They taking a
Can't
break?
play the whole time. Run out of music to play. Whoa, White Jammers around on the outside. Number
It's
7.
Bubbles,
That's
and Furious George. Furious George buried in the second turn by Rocks. Recycles back. Here
Bubbles
comes Bubbles
with a blocker.
following Villain. Villain is leading. And once again, this is this speed blocking, these moving screens that the
Fast Derby.
Misery Loves Company runs. And wow.
Yeah, Fast Derby. That pieces out your blockers. That jammers get around you quick.
49-38. A great start to this one. Physical and fast so far, I would say. Bjorn Wicked in as a jammer against Panda.
We haven't seen her out yet this game.
Well, not in this game, but Bjorn Wicked did do some jamming for Root Force. Gets recycled back. And Panda also got knocked out and recycled back. Bjorn Wicked now with a chance, but really great job by Misery Loves Company to reform. No surprise, it's Lucille Balls who's leading the defense, but eventually Bjorn Wicked gets away. Panda passed, or is trying to pass the Star. The Star's been dropped to the inside. Panda's finally picked it up and knocked out by Maud Behavior, and then Sprocket Rocket. Here comes Bjorn Wicked with a chance to pick up some points and score. And great job there by her blockers to take out one of the miseries. And Bjorn Wicked back in and skating and doing some nice footwork along the inside. Bjorn Wicked on an 8-0 run.
Still with the lead.
8-4. Misery Love Company picks up, and Bjorn Wicked with another pass.
Calling it off now.
Calling off the jam, and it's 53-50. Wow.
That was a good jam.
Great jam. Great jam for Bjorn Wicked in the rotation there.
She's really
Looks
a
like
strong competitor.
Muscle Mommy and Bubbles going up against each other. Who's on the track? Destroyer. Stranger Danger is out there. Sugar Rush.
Muscles around on the outside for the lead.
Muscle Mommy breaking loose. Bubbles being defensed by Stranger Danger. Danger is a great one-on-one defender.
She is.
What a job. Meanwhile, Muscle Mommy taking on the Misery Loves Company. Well, if Misery Loves Company, they're getting it right now. They're getting it right now from Muscle Mommy. There was a lot of oomph in that jam. 4 points makes it 54-53. Why not? Why not the last one of the year be the best one?
Yeah.
You know, why not? Cloverkill, looks like there might be a timeout for Misery Loves Company. Misery Loves Company. The game started out pretty even, and the Misery Loves Company had that 16-0 run. And they thought that they had thrown that jab and knocked Humboldt back on their heels. Maybe so. But the Rollers have responded, and it's 54-53. What are you seeing right now?
A lot of A lot of energy. The blockers are doing great, keeping the jammer contained and recycling them back. That's what you want to see.
What do you think of that moving screen that Misery Loves Company runs? Is that something that a lot of teams run, that speed kind of jam?
Fast track.
Yeah, is
Yeah.
that what you call it? Fast track?
I call it fast track derby, where the packs run fast.
Fast pack.
Fast, yeah.
Fast pack.
Yeah.
There we go.
I like doing it in the game. I think it's fun.
You like playing like
I
that?
like playing fast pack derby, yeah.
You don't like the grind it out?
I don't know. I like to kind of race around in a pack. It's
That's
fun.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
The band is back after hearing us wonder where they were with On Broadway. We'll see if they play any songs a second time tonight.
Looks like
Cloverkill.
Bubbles and Cloverkill out.
There you go. And Bubbles.
Clover is making her way through the pack.
Now this is just a scrum.
Yeah. Oh,
Whoa,
whoa.
great.
Whoa.
Great vision for Bubbles. The pack kind of leaned left, leaned right,
Yeah. The
and
seas
Bubbles
just,
broke through. That was great vision.
It was as if the seas just parted and she just went.
You got to be ready
Yeah.
to have that moment.
It is only for a slight second that blockers will give you that moment, and then you just have to take it.
And it's just an organic thing, right? Just because they've skated out of the
Yes.
play, so to speak. Cloverkill is going to the box, which is bad news for Humboldt, because what that means is that you have a power jam, but just
But
buried.
these blockers are holding this jammer back in a way that is just beautiful.
I think that what we've seen this fall that has been so good for the rollers is the coordination
Yes.
of the blockers.
Well, they've skated together for so long. I mean, it's almost as if they don't need to talk. They just do it.
It's mod behavior out there. Sprocket Rocket. Otter Pop.
Bubbles.
Now, Bubbles does
around.
have a scoring opportunity, already 4-0 on the run. And because it's a power jam, there's no sense of calling this off. This could be a full 2-minute jam. 61-54 with 8:38 to go. This has been quite a bout. And that was Chowder knocking into Bubbles. Bubbles is leaned over, hands on knees,
And that's a tired jammer.
a tired jammer,
Yeah.
but also a jammer that's taken some hits and went into the Humboldt tripod leading with the hip, didn't even want to take it on from the front. It was an incredible jam, though, at just the right time for Misery Loves Company. A 14-0 score makes it 67-54. Furious George and
That
taking a look, is that Hearst? 138? No, Duke. 1968.
okay.
I was 8 years old.
Oh,
Furious George breaks loose, is on the loose and round the track. Here comes Furious George to the outside and smashing into the defense of Misery Loves Company. Meanwhile, Juke driven out there by Bianca Swagger. Swagger, who went to Hawaii with Chakra Punch for that tournament. 3-2 on the exchange there in favor of Misery Loves Company. It's 70-56. Chakra Punch and Panda are the jammers. Chakra Punch. Boy, Panda just engulfed. Panda engulfed and run out by Slam Chowder. And calling for the referees, saying that she was being grabbed up around the neck.
I saw that.
It's sort of a clothesline. Chowder knocked out and has to recycle back. And neither of these jammers able to break through defenses that are awfully stingy right now. Great job by Humboldt. And now finally, Panda. Panda was able to slip on a roll move past Sprocket. And Panda is going to be in scoring position as Chakra Punch finally gets loose. Here comes Panda with a great move. Oh, that is just a spin move by Panda after contact and along the outside, and then going to call off the jam before Chakra Punch gets there. So that secures 4 points for Misery Loves Company and keeps Humboldt from being able to score. Okay, Rennie Public Law Group, providing legal services to public agencies throughout California, practicing law in the public interest. A to Z Eye Care, dedicated to providing the community with quality vision care through education, technology, and educational service. And the Speakeasy at 711 Opera Alley. Our underwriters all are excited to see Muscle Mommy break loose. Muscle Mommy pushing hard, and Rollers need some points, so let's see if Mommy can get it going. Meanwhile, the star was passed to, looks like rocks, and they were buried on the outside. Mommy calls off the jam. 4 points for Humboldt, 74-60. And an outstanding first half. Bjorn Wicked. And cannot see the jammer for the Misery Loves Company. And this is just an absolute pile. It's gonna be Juke, number 1968. Juke is being held up by Chowder, Sprocket, and Maud Behavior. And finally able to slip it. Oh, what a great move.
A Juke on the outside by Juke.
Dropping back to defend was Maud Behavior, but got faked out there by Juke. Now, interesting, going to the penalty box, is Bjorn Wicked. So you have a power jam for Misery Loves Company, and they're going to call up the jam. I would have thought on a power jam that you would have seen Misery Love Company go more.
Yeah, I was waiting to see what they were going to do.
78-60.
Maybe this is a strategy. They're going to start with jammer in the box.
Well, Bjorn Wicked is indeed in the box for Humboldt, not having served the entire penalty. Panda up. Bianca Swagger, Destroyer. Some of the defenders that are out there. Also, we have Sugar Rush. Good defense. Peaches and Scream kind of waiting and reforming, Wicked, seeing if indeed they pass the star. Panda had thought about it. Bjorn Wicked is now fighting everything down here in turn one. It is a traffic jam, and Panda finally breaks loose. Panda loose and ready to go on a scoring run. We're under 2 minutes to go here in the half, a very exciting half. Panda breaks loose and is going to pick up 4 points there.
Looks like we're down a blocker for Humboldt.
Down a blocker. Peaches and Scream went into the box. Panda gets hit hard there by Bianca Swagger. Going to recycle back.
Blocker coming out of the box for Humboldt.
Meanwhile, Sugar Rush gets the star. She was the pivot and is in the game. And we'll see if they picked up any points because from her knees, Panda calls off the jam. 6 for Misery Loves Company. Did Humboldt get awarded any points? Waiting to see, and it seems like they weren't. 84-60. Bubbles for Misery Loves Company will be the jammer. But a timeout is called, and I think Daddy Longlegs is out there to talk about if there should have been points awarded to Humboldt. And I thought so.
Yeah, that
At
was
least
an
a couple.
Interesting jam.
Your referees are the same as they were last game. Missy Elliott, Megalodonna, Elwood Blues, Blondie, Tasmanian Devil, Aurora Chaser, and referee Lebowski. Respectively in this game, they're the outside pack rep, the jam rep, the head rep, the inside pack rep, the jam rep, and outside pack reps for Aurora Chaser and referee Lebowski. So we'll see if Humboldt will be awarded any points. I think that was the concern. Why the timeout was called is that from their knees, when Panda called the jam off, that the pivot who had taken the cap, Sugar Rush, had actually scored some points. So let's see.
It'll be interesting to find out.
It's amazing to me, and I've said this, there's no replay.
No.
They're
So
they're just talking.
I doubt that they're going to essentially overturn their decision.
They're recollecting,
Yes.
and they've decided that there were no points. What do you know?
Yeah. They've never really changed their mind in my experience, but you know.
Have you ever seen them change their mind?
No.
Never.
No. No. It's pretty much just, we can take a break of, what we're doing.
Cloverkill and Bubbles. Bubbles driven out, has to recycle back, as does Cloverkill. And Tula, with one of the great hip checks you're going to see, drives Bubbles out and down. Cloverkill pushing against rocks. Cloverkill pushing. Cloverkill's got to get that inside lane, but great defense there by number
Getting a penalty
138. That's Hurst, the captain. And 2 players go to the box. So Humboldt has a distinct advantage. The Rollers, Redwood Rollers.
Yeah, they were stretched out way too far there.
And so recycling back is Cloverkill after being knocked out. And Cloverkill after going all the way back to before turn number 4. And it's the Bubbles that gets back into the out of the penalty box. Cloverkill was being held off and just called off the jam. And that's it. We are now at intermission with the score. Misery Loves Company, 84. Humboldt, the Redwood Rollers. We're going to see what the scoring comes in. Right now they've awarded 1 point. So it's 84-61. And now they're going to add the 3 points, 84-63 at the intermission. And we'll see you in what, 10 minutes? We'll see you in 14 minutes. Score at half. Misery Loves Company, 84. Humboldt Roller Derby, 63.
Rock Media.
God.
Welcome to the KZZH Community Calendar for the week starting Friday, November 14th, 2025. On Friday, November 14th, do you have taste for the classics? If so, you'll like the EHS Players, The Visions of Cassandra, from 7:30 to 10 p.m. at the Eureka High School Auditorium, 1915 J Street. This is an original Greek tragedy adapted from the Iliad by Homer and the Trojan Women by Euripides. Focused on the young, prophetic princess Cassandra, the story explores the love and grief of a family burdened by ongoing conflict 9 years into the Trojan War. Get more information and admission pricing by emailing needhamc@eurekacityschools.org or by calling 707-441-2537. Also on Friday, among your other theater options is Getting Dark, 3 one-act comedies starting at 7 p.m. at the Exit Theater, 890 G Street in Arcata. These are 3 new short plays by Daniel Lehman, directed by Wendy Butler. Go to theexit.org for more information. Finally, on Friday, there will be a Downtown and Old Town holiday open house from 5 to 8 p.m. in historic Old Town Eureka on 2nd Street. Enjoy music, treats, live music, food trucks, in-store specials, a prize drawing, and more. Email Eureka Main Street at eurekaca.gov or call 707-441-4187 to find out more. On Saturday, November 15th, strap on your running shoes for the Veterans Day at McKay 5K, 10K, and Community Connections Fair starting at 10 a.m. at the McKay Community Forest, 3100 Hare Street in Eureka. All festivities, the race and the after party, take place in the community forest. Hang around after to cheer on finishers, enjoy the award ceremony, and barbecue. Also on Saturday, get ready for Kuna's Disaster Preparedness Block Party from 12 to 3 p.m. at the Kuna Resilience Hub and Family Resource Center, 4700 Valley East Boulevard in Arcata. Learn essential disaster preparedness skills and pick up free disaster preparedness go-bag supplies. There will be live music, kids' activities, resource booths, interactive demonstrations, and a taquiza, taco bar, catered by Los Quiles Taqueria. Finally, on Saturday, get ready to rumble at the Humboldt Roller Derby's final home game of the season at Redwood Acres Franceschi Hall starting at 6 p.m. Stuck at home or at work? Access Humboldt has got you covered. We will live stream video of the games on Access Humboldt's YouTube page, on Optimum Channel 8, and broadcast descriptions on KZZH 96.7. Don't miss a second of the red-hot action. On Sunday, November 16th, don't miss the Wine and Jazz from 3 to 5 p.m. at the Morse Graves Museum of Art, 636 F Street in Eureka. This is a monthly performance series highlighting Humboldt County performers. This week, it's music by Andrew Barnett and Francis Vanek. Your regular admission covers everything. Go to humboldtarts.org for the details. Also on Sunday, don't be afraid. Embrace fundamentals of clown with Jeff Raz from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Arcata Playhouse, 1251 9th Street. Explore the fundamentals of clowning with Jeff Raz in this workshop for all skill levels. There's a modest suggested donation, but no one will be turned away for lack of funds. Go to arcataplayhouse.org for more information. Finally, on Sunday, there will be a Eureka Waterfront guided birding trip from 9 to 11 a.m. on the Eureka Waterfront, foot of Del Norte Street. This relatively urban trail offers the potential to observe species abundance and diversity. Email thebook@renanet.com to sign up. You may also go to rras.org to find out more. On Monday, November 17th, everyone knows the first rule of the Ukulele Fight Club of Humboldt from 6 to 8 p.m. HLOC space at 92 Sunnybury Center in Arcata. Bring a ukulele and join the fun. Check the calendar at ukulelefightclubofhumboldt.com for cancellations and additional events. All levels are welcome, and there's a modest suggested donation. On Tuesday, November 18th, attention entrepreneurs, there will be a lightning pitch clinic, fast feedback, new connections, from 5:30 to 7 p.m. at Startup Humboldt, 876 7th Street in Arcata. The Startup Humboldt competition is a high-impact regional initiative designed to grow scalable businesses, create jobs, and strengthen Humboldt's economy. Go to startuphumboldt.org or call 707-840-4940 to find out more. Also on Tuesday, you are invited to the Writers Group from 12:30 to 2 p.m. at Christ Episcopal Church, 1428 8th Street in Eureka. Writers will share all types of writing and get assistance from one another. Drop-ins are welcome, and this is not a faith-based event. Finally, on Tuesday, improve your English skills with English Express, an online English language class for adults. You can build English language confidence in ongoing online and in-person classes. All levels and first languages are welcome. Join anytime and pre-registration is not required. Go to EnglishExpressEmpowered.com or call 707-443-5021 to find out more. On Wednesday, November 19th, don't miss Katie Moulton, Maker's Apron, from 12:30 to 1 p.m. at the Eureka Women's Club, 1531 J Street. Katie Moulton will be speaking about her business, Maker's Apron, Creative Reuse. Bring a brown bag lunch and visit with members starting at noon. Dessert and beverage will be provided. The speaker is from 12:30 to 1 p.m. Email susantobias2015@gmail.com or call 408-848-4662. On Thursday, November 20th, come to the third Thursday Talk series with Redwood Community Energy Authority starting at 7 p.m. at the Humboldt Grange, 501 4845 Humboldt Hill Road in Eureka. Learn more about the RCEA and what they do and what they can do for you. The event is free and open to the public. Also on Thursday, check out the food web responses to Klamath Dam removal from 7 to 9 p.m. at the Six Rivers Masonic Lodge, 251 Bayside Road in Arcata. This talk explores food web responses to dam removal downstream of Iron Gate Dam during a critical period of juvenile salmonid growth and outmigration in the late spring. Go to rras.org to find out more. To submit your nonprofit event to the KZZH community calendar, go to kzzh.accesshumboldt.net and follow the community calendar link located near the top of the page. Your event information will be read twice a day, at noon and 5 p.m. on weekdays and at noon on the weekends. Your event information will also be shared on Access Humboldt TV's bulletin board. Access Humboldt, local voices through community media. For KZZH in Eureka, I'm Isabella Vanderheiden.
Rock me.
Back here at Franceschi Hall at a very exciting first half, very fast first half, very intense first half, 84-63 in favor of Misery Loves Company. All right. You're laughing. It's radio. The first thing you got to know, turn your mic on.
Yeah, learn your equipment. That's rule one.
Well, the beautiful thing is we have Nate, we have Eric, we have Matt. We don't have to learn anything. We just have to turn it on and talk into it. So getting set for the second half, tell me your observations of the first half.
This feels like a high energy game, like almost, like they're just battling it out.
So if you're in a game like that, I mean, can you tell from the start, whoa,
Yeah.
this is what tonight's going to be?
I mean, I love games like this because I'm a player. I play to the energy level of my teammates. So if I'm playing and I have, teammates who are lower energy, I play to their energy level. If I play with players who are higher energy, I level it up. I go 100%. So I play to the levels of who I'm playing with. So,
There you go.
100% all the way.
Well, I think energy is infectious tonight.
It is.
Bubbles and the way that both teams started. I'll tell you what, Bubbles and Muscle Mommy and the Jammers are hitting each other.
Yeah. And that's great because if the Jammers hit each other out, then you got a whole strategy that goes on. Toe stops at the line for Muscles. That's awesome right there.
Bubbles broke loose. Muscle Mommy being taken out by number 125, Audrey, and then trying an apex move and being driven out by Danger was Bubbles and turn 2. Meanwhile, Muscle Mommy is caught up. Bubbles got knocked to the track and winds up in the penalty box and looked up at the referee like, you're kidding me. But that's the case. Humboldt on a much-needed power jam, and the blockers for Humboldt doing the Redwood Rollers doing the best job they can to try to spring Muscle Mommy.
It seems like there's a lot of confusion about penalties in this game. Did I get a penalty? Did I not? I've noticed that.
Tonight, and you know what I've noticed tonight, and this it's the same officiating crew, and it was true in the first game and this game. Boy, Jammers have got a lot of penalties tonight.
Yeah. Whoa, that was
an incredible spin move by Bubbles and getting away from
awesome.
Stranger Danger, one of the best one-on-one defenders that you're going to see, and Destroyer pushing Bubbles out and making them recycle. Meanwhile, Muscle Mommy able to catch up. 4 points each on the jam so far in this jam that's going to go the full 2 minutes. Saw a little bit of everything in this jam.
Boy, it seems like they're leveling up their abilities in this second half, not only with their skating abilities, but their strength.
What do you mean by leveling it up?
Well, I'm seeing a lot more, toe stop, sneaking by, and that was amazing. That
Tell me about a toe stop.
when you run by the edge of the line on your toe stops, that's something I myself struggle with, but the Jammers can do it just effortlessly, and I think it looks just so cool.
Panda being dribbled out and recycled back. Great job there by Otterpop, who's the acting captain. Otterpop and Sprocket Rocket and Rotten Tulicore and Slam Chowder are the defenders here. And here is Misery Loves Company trying to get that fast pack going. But Panda breaks loose out in front.
Here comes Muscles. Contact with the Jammers.
Muscle Mommy tried to take her out as a jammer that came out of the box. They were on a power jam and was not able to do it. Now it's Muscle Mommy. Now Mommy is the lead jammer. Panda taken to the ground and calling off the jam before Muscle Mommy can get there. Let's see what the points are going to be awarded. You always got to wait. You always got to wait.
Yeah.
You know?
I never assume anything in roller derby.
No. Patience
Yes.
is a virtue.
I've learned all my patience through roller derby.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
I was a very explosive person.
Really?
That's where my name came from. Volcano.
Really?
Oh, I was very, very explosive and angry when I started.
And roller derby
Yes,
calmed you down?
Always, yes. If you can believe it, yes. I was
No,
very.
I can't believe it.
I mean, I still get kind of crazy every now and again. When I get a penalty, I'll get very. For the most part, yeah. I mean, also it comes with age. You get.
It's like an article. I used to be volatile, but roller derby calmed me down.
It should be the headline, actually. Yes.
You might be one of the more amazing
Yes.
stories.
Yes,
in the-
the explosive, implosive redhead. Yes.
Wow. All right.
Yes.
Well, there you go, folks. If you've got anger problems or find yourself reacting too quick, maybe you need to be in the roller derby.
Yes, roller derby is for you.
Roller derby is looking for you. Time out.
It's tailor made for you.
Roller derby can cure you. Roller derby, the elixir,
Yes, indeed.
the remedy. All right.
It's the cure all. It does. It helps you with, any problems with focus, and it works on your own problems, your body, and you get angry at yourself, and
Boy, I can imagine there are some moments in roller derby where
you work on
nothing
your
else
own,
matters.
work on your own stuff, and take it out on the track. Leave your problems at the door. So,
There you go. Roller derby.
Yeah.
Check your hangups at the door.
Exactly.
94-71. Getting a bit Freudian now.
Oh goodness.
Clover kill and who?
It looks
Bubbles?
like Bubbles.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
Bubbles. And the Humboldt roller defense gets right on Bubbles. And
Yeah, she's one of the more agile skaters I've seen.
Bubbles breaks loose. It was a good screen by Boo, number 187.
And Bubbles has lead, it looks like.
Oh, yeah, lead jammer because now power jam.
Yeah.
And not a good time for a power jam to occur. Humboldt's got to keep connected here.
Oh, look at that turnaround. That was
And
cool.
driven out of bounds and having to recycle back. That was Stranger Danger. Stranger Danger, who I think is the best one-on-one defender that the Rollers have. Everything being gummed up in turn number 3.
I can't really see what's happening through all the officials.
The one part of being on an eye level on a flat track.
Yeah.
So everything, Bubbles is completely locked up and had to recycle back. They've moved from turn number 4 all the way down the straightaway. Cloverkill is fighting as well. 29 seconds to go in the jam, and look at this. We have a jam with no points being scored yet,
man.
and it could go the full 2 minutes.
Yeah, they've ran the jammers back twice, it looks like. And Bubbles looks like struggling with everything she's got.
Well, it's a humid night. It's a very different November night. Last year in Franceschi Hall in November, it was freezing, but not for the last game. Bubbles finally breaks loose and takes a hip check from Danger, and the jam ends. Hey, you're listening to KZZH 96.7 Eureka Community Radio from Access Humboldt, and we'd like to thank the Speakeasy, a New Orleans-inspired custom-built bar, seasonal craft cocktails, local fresh ingredients, live jazz and blues music, and more, located at 411 Opera Alley. It was a 4-0 at the end. Misery Loves Company advantage, 98-71. Humboldt needs a little run here. And it's Juke, number 1968, who does just that. No, it's not. It's Floozy.
Around on the inside.
First time out for Floozy. And think about that. Chakra Punch, meanwhile, punching it out at turn 1, trying to get sprung here so that they can get in scoring position, but looking like a fighter against the ropes, for goodness sake. Both jammers completely held up by outstanding tripods. Great defense. That was Lucio Balls. No wonder.
Looks like
They've been a
Chakra's going to the
tremendous
bench.
Lucille Balls has been a
Got a
tremendous
power jam for
uh,
Flizzy.
defender tonight. Strange. With a minute to go, Floozy called off the jam. Even though they had a power jam, they got the 4 points, 102-71.
I don't think she knew that Chakra was in the box.
They have coaches in the corners telling them what to do, for God's sake.
Sometimes when you're playing a game, you just get so, like,
Right,
you
but
get blinders
The
on.
coach's job is to see that and to signal in. Here we go. Humboldt needs the Rollers need a run, but they're going to start out in a deficit as a power jam for
Here goes
Misery
Danger
Loves
with
Company. Panda in
one-on-one.
danger. Come on, Danger. Keep her connected.
Getting out too far. She's going to
Yeah,
have to come
you
back.
got to let her go. Held her up for as long as possible. Chakra Punch still in the penalty box. And one of those fast pack runs.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Escapism. Outstanding by Panda, who's going to go to the box. Chakra Punch has the star in their hand. Without the star, Punch wearing a white helmet. You don't see that very often. Punch always has the star on and is coming up for a scoring possibility. And Humboldt needs a big run. Chakra Punch, who spent time in Hawaii in a tournament with her hero, Freight Train, and they're going to call her for cutting the track. And that means Chakra Punch goes to the box, and Panda gets to be released. Punch had scored 4 points to make it a little bit closer, 102-75. But now Panda breaks loose with 4 points. Panda winds up being dumped on the ground in turn one, trying to pass the pivot, but running into Humboldt defender after defender. Chakra Punch back out there. It's Panda that's actually driving Punch out. They laugh and give a hug. Now, they gave Panda 4 points.
Oh.
They're going to call that a 7-2. I had thought that they had given Punch 4 points, but that was not the case. 7-2 as the points were reallocated. 109-73, 19:31 to go in the half. Official talking with the official scorers down here. Tasmanian Devil. So 109-73. Got just under 20 minutes to go. But I think Humboldt's got to make some stands here. The famed rendition of Elvira as one of the things that you see in roller derby that you don't see in a lot of sports, while people are lined up waiting to go, people dance. One of the endearing qualities of the sport.
Even the skaters dance while they're out there.
The skaters dance.
Yeah.
Do you dance to the music in the breaks?
Sure, why not? That's great. Always dance.
I thought it was more of a yes or no, not a...
Sure.
And we've been told that other arenas don't have this.
I've never been to any place where they've had live music before. It's always been like a DJ.
Well, the band going 109.73, 1937 to go.
Yeah, the first time I came here and I heard that there was a live band, I thought, oh, how nice. It kind of, I don't know, it took me by surprise, actually, that there was a live band.
There's a change being made for Misery Loves Company. Misery Loves Company will start a player short. Actually, both teams a player short. 2 players in the penalty box. You've got Muscle Mommy flexing and getting ready to go.
Yes, indeed.
And it looks like Lynx back out there. Haven't seen Lynx very much in the second half. It is indeed Lynx for Misery Loves Company. The officials were on a timeout. They've broken the pack. Danger, Rotten to Liqueur, and Otter Pop. They're the 3 defenders for the Rollers. Rollers in black. Misery Loves Company in the white with the black lettering. Here comes Muscle Mommy and gonna
front.
break loose. No,
Oh.
driven to the ground
Lynx.
by Rocks
Run
and got to
back.
recycle back. And
around
it
on
looks
the
like
outside.
Lynx is going to make it. And Lynx on the outside breaks
Still trying to
loose.
get through.
Muscle Mommy finally breaks loose, but it's Lynx that is on the lead jammer and on a scoring run gets driven out. Wow. Danger took Lynx out by the bench over there. All that action and just 2 points on that jam.
Man.
Mod Behavior, Slam Chowder, Sprocket Rocket. It's Bjorn Wicked. Danger. No, it's Rotten Chulicor who's in the penalty box. So Humboldt, a person down. Lucille Balls. Absolutely a great defender. It's Bubbles back out on a short shift, going straight ahead with Mod Behavior. And eventually Mod Behavior is going to have to let her go. Rotten Chulicor rejoins the team. Here comes Bubbles to the inside and takes on Stranger Danger and delivers a blow, and they both go down. That's on the far corner.
Got a power jam. Wicked's in the box.
Yes, Wicked in the box. Once again, another jammer in the box. So Bubbles going to call off the jam. That's twice tonight a power jam has been called off with a minute to go. $115.73. Humboldt just has not been able to go on a run at any time in this half. The Rollers need some explosiveness. They've lost Furious George, who was injured in the first half. And they start here in this jam number 8, in a deficit, as it's a power jam for Misery Loves Company. I'll tell you what, some great jobs by the Humboldt defense pushing Misery Loves Company out. Panda cut, was going to go ahead and recycle back. Looked like they cut ahead of Bianca Swagger and had to go back. And knocked out there by Destroyer. Meanwhile, Wicked looking to pass to the pivot, looking to pass to Sugar Rush. Can they get the, and it is passed, but Sugar Rush is going to break loose. So now Sugar Rush is on a power jam because Panda is in the box. Sugar Rush is following Peaches and Scream, who does some good screening, and Sugar Rush is able to score, then finally driven out there by Juke. Recycles back, cuts to the inside, and there we go. Panda is going to come out of the box, so the power jam is over, but Sugar Rush still scoring. Panda being held up and recycled back behind Bianca Swagger. All the action in the far straightaway. Pushing. Finally clear is Sugar Rush, and Sugar Rush is being sent to the penalty box. Boy, if you're a jammer tonight and you haven't been sent to the penalty box, you're in a real minority. A minority of none, I think. So 4 points for Humboldt. They win the session, but not by the kind of margin that they need to win the session by. 115-77. Game still within reach. 14:37 to go. Actually, score's going to be added up. 3 more points. Forgive me for going too soon. 115-80. 35 points. 2 good runs could get this thing knotted back up. And Humboldt laid way back. I've never seen Humboldt lay back, rollers lay back so much as they did there. It's a power jam, and it's Lynx, a powerful jammer. And Lynx, wow, spinning, toe stop, reversal, and then being worked on to the outside. And Lynx scoring points and being sent to the penalty box. Must have cut the track. The star has been passed to the captain, Otter Pop. Otter Pop taking a look. Tries to go outside, cuts back to the inside. Outside, inside, inside, outside. Trying to push forward on the far straightaway. Push, driving, dropping, leading, breaking away. My goodness. An epic run by Otter Pop. There's the hardest earned 4 points of the night.
All done on her toe stops. That's impressive.
Lynx back on the track. Otter Pop knocked to her knees. Lynx driven. It looked like Maud Behavior that made the play. Maud Behavior. Finally, Lynx escapes from her. All the action in turn number 3. Lynx being held up. Slam Chowder. And Chowder's going to go to the box. Otter Pop has doubled the score of Lynx. And it looks like they're going to call up the... Nope. Jam's still going. It's going to go the full 2 minutes. Let's look what the final tally was. 10-4 Otter Pop. That was a pass, remember. The pivot, Otter Pop started as a pivot and was past the star. winds up outscoring Misery Loves Company 10-7, 122-90. Cloverkill. Cloverkill pushing. This is a power jam to start, so you got to get Cloverkill through. Trying to double back and follow blockers. Destroyer and Peaches and Scream. And now Cloverkill getting sent to the box. That's going to release Lynx. And here comes that fast track again. Lynx grabbing a shirt and using it to crack the whip and get to the outside. Wow, we've seen that a couple of times tonight with the old kind of like old school roller derby move. Lynx being driven out and then calling the jam, and that's going to be successful for Misery Loves Company. Even though they pick up 3 points, they keep Humboldt from scoring at all. 125-90 with 10:32 to go. I think they're going to run Floozy back out there for Misery Loves Company, and a timeout. All right, what are they talking about here? Down 35, 10 minutes to go. What are you saying to what do they need?
Probably some offense.
And how do you generate offense?
You got to break up that pack. Get that jammer through.
And then
hit that brace.
Use your own blockers to break up that pack?
Yeah. You don't want them to stay together. You want to get in there and, hit them before they hit you.
So the strategy to do that, using the blockers to release.
Yeah. But
Jammers, 35-point differential here. Chakra Punch is going to be the jammer. It's Mod Behavior. It's Slam Chowder. It's Rotten Chulicor. And Sprocket Rocket. So here we go. Chakra Punch ready. Pushing forward. Teams at full strength. Floozy trying to get to the outside and buried into a pile and driven outside. Driven out again by Slam Chowder. Meanwhile, Chakra Punch. Oh, pushing. What effort. In turn 2, it's Lucille Balls, who is without question one of the strongest defenders. Chakra Punch breaks loose. The pivot has been, or the star was passed to the pivot. Juke now has the star. Chakra Punch trying to score. Juke's going to go unrecognized. Rotten Chulicor ran into her own player. Ran into Slam Chowder and allowed Juke to get by. An unfortunate error for the rollers at that moment. The jam is called off. It was 4-3. Misery Loves Company, 129-93. We're under 10 minutes. We're at 9 minutes.
Jammers are jamming on the line.
Muscle Mommy ready to go for Humboldt.
Oh.
Breaking loose. Hey, good play. They crisscross danger to throw a block. Wow, great defense by Misery Loves Company. And Muscle Mommy strong, but unable to get loose. And it is Bubbles. Bubbles have been tough.
Gosh, she's a physical
And
jammer.
has that great move where Bubbles spins and throws the hip
She gets low too. That's
at the blockers, low with the leading with the backside first. Meanwhile, Pivot thinking about being passed, but is yet to be passed. And Muscle Mommy finally breaks loose. Bubbles going to call out the jam. Just what the doctor ordered, though, as far as Misery Loves Company. Just 4 solid points. Nothing for Humboldt. Cloverkill out for Humboldt going against Panda. Players dancing. We've got DJ music being piped in now. Band taking a break. And everything gummed up at the start. Panda out. It's going to have to recycle back. Cloverkill nowhere to be seen. It's just a massive humanity along the jam line. Finally, Cloverkill breaking out. And, oh, Lucille Balls. People are going to, these jammers are going to see her in their nightmares. So Panda's going to go to the box. Just file that under still another jammer in the box.
it's just back and forth.
And here's Cloverkill going to the box, meaning both jammers are in the box, meaning Panda gets released. Panda's laughing, says she's tired and wants Cloverkill to go back out there.
That's awesome.
It's a hot night. It's a muggy night. And we've seen exhausted players. Wow, what a move there by Panda to stay up. Looked like they were being driven out of bounds by Rotten Chulakor, but it was able to stay up and speed to the inside.
Oh.
Cloverkill takes a heavy fall.
Whoa, slow to get up.
Slow to get up, says they're okay. Looks to pass the star, but nothing going on right now. Might want to call a timeout. Time is not a friend to the Rollers. 5:45 to go. Cloverkill is still wobbly and out on the side. So, in a sense, it's a power jam because Cloverkill is down. They've got to call timeout here and stop this play.
They should call the jam if they have a.
That took too long. That was 20 seconds too long. They should have been attending to Cloverkill right away.
Yeah. They have a player down. There we go.
So, as is tradition for privacy, the Rollers and now being joined by Misery Loves Company will surround Cloverkill to give the privacy for the doctors to talk to the player. A hard fall along the first straightaway near the jam line, and Cloverkill is down. .518 to go. Seems like time should be put back on that clock. Does that ever happen? Will people add time back? They do.
I've seen that done before, yeah.
You've seen it happen.
Yeah. See some good footwork tonight.
Say it again.
Good footwork tonight.
Oh.
Fancy footwork.
Panda on that last run especially.
Yeah. And what's her name? Number 7, Bubbles, also had some fancy footwork out there.
Players cordial with each other. This one almost over, 137-93. Misery Loves Company is a team that is put together of players from the Oakland League, the Bay Area Roller Derby. And they're obviously a strong team. Clover's being taken out. The second jammer that the Rollers have lost in this second game, or I would say the second half, but Furious George never made it to the second half, leaving injured after the first half. Looked like a shoulder injury, and I would think Cloverkill here, they're going to check. Looked a little wobbly, but might have a concussion or whatnot. So Otter Pop is going to fill in as a jammer going against Bubbles. Bubbles been very active tonight. And timeout Humboldt, 5:18 to go. And I think the question would be, if there is a question, if they're going to talk to the officials about anything, is to put that time back on the clock.
Yeah, that would be my first question.
And I've got it about somewhere around 5:45, which would be essential for Humboldt. Humboldt in this game down 44 points. It's a long shot, but you need every second you can get.
Yeah.
This is the last of our broadcasts this year. It's the last home event for Redwood Rollers. A great season. Some great teams came in here. Humboldt able to attract some pretty top-notch competition.
Yeah, we got some great stuff planned for next season. Some away games that sound pretty fun.
And you had some away games this year.
Yes, we did.
Any idea where you might be going next year?
I think I heard Reno was thrown out there.
Reno?
I believe. Yeah. I don't have it all memorized, but yeah, it's in the works, maybe.
Well, it's an amazing organization. And to be able to throw the home events is extraordinary. To get it together to go on the road, that's a whole nother level of organization that takes place.
I love the home games. The home games are great. They're my favorite.
So, Misery Loves Company, 4 points on that last jam, 137 to 93. Don't know what Daddy Longlegs was talking about, but I haven't seen any time added back to the clock. That seemed to be the issue, is when Cloverkill went down, shouldn't the official have called the timeout then?
I would think so, but can't argue with the officials.
Well, you can. It just might not get you anywhere.
I can't. That would be insubordination.
5:18. Otter Pop is going to be the jammer for Humboldt. Bubbles for Misery Loves Company. And good job, Otter Pop. One player to beat and does.
Round on the inside.
The captain coming around on a scoring pass and following the block of Sugar Rush. Oh, a hip check by Bubbles, who had passed the star to Adri, and Otter Pop gets the points for cut the lead to 40, but gonna need more than 4.
That was impressive. That almost looked like a cartwheel.
The band counting down to the 420 mark, a number that used to have more significance than it does now. 4:03 to go.
Is this Lynx and Muscles? I see.
It is Muscle
Muscles.
Mommy. And Lynx has the star in their hand and takes on Muscle Mommy before they go ahead and start pushing forward. And Muscle Mommy, Lynx ridden out by Danger. Here comes Muscle Mommy. Roller's doing a great job getting bodies on people. Muscle Mommy racking up some points. They need this. They need this rally. Muscle Mommy ridden out by Bubbles, who had passed the star. And this is a power jam now because Lynx is in the box. And driven out by Floozy is Muscle Mommy.
Danger's doing a great job of keeping those blockers separated.
Lynx is back in and now passes the panty to Floozy, the pivot. This is an interesting formation for the Misery Loves Company because they had 3 of their jammers in there at one time. It was a 10-0 run to make it 137 to 107. There's 2:18 to go. I don't know if there's enough time. Panda and Chakra Punch. Time is of the essence. Time is melting away. We're under 2 minutes. Chakra Punch. Does she have a great rally in her? Panda also being held up and driven out. Is going to have to recycle back. And a hit by Peaches and Scream. There's Destroyer. And Panda breaks loose. Panda is the lead jammer. Chakra Punch looking to possibly pass. But the pivot is Stranger Danger. And Danger is back playing defense and nowhere to be passed to. This is going to essentially run out the clock, I think. Danger is so focused on defense, not available to take the star from Chakra Punch. And Chakra Punch finally breaks loose. We're under a minute to go. 141-107. Misery Loves Company going to win this game. Chakra Punch pushing.
Oh, they're running her back.
Game clock and the jam clock. Game clock is 5 seconds under the jam clock. So you've got 31 to go in the game and 33 to go in the jam. Chakra Punch recycles back. 141-107. Game coming to an end. And knocked out is Panda. Last lick getting in there by Sugar Rush. And that's going to be the game. The final. Misery Loves Company 141. And Redwood Rollers 107. That was quite a bout.
Yeah, it was. That was a lot of back and forth. That was close.
A lot of back and forth in the first half.
Yeah.
The second half, Misery Loves Company was able to stay on top and just kind of always nurse that lead and wind up winning this one by 44 points. Not much in roller derby. Want to thank our staff and our broadcaster.
Volcano.
I know, I was going to ask how to say Volcano, the person who went to roller derby to mellow out.
Yes.
Unbelievable. Want to thank Nate, Matt, Thomas Chan is here, Eric. Thomas Chan wrote the Rink Rash song, and just enjoyed a great season of roller derby here from Franceschi Hall on KZZH Radio. We'll be back with you next year, no doubt, as the phenomenon that is Humboldt Roller Derby continues. Once again from Franceschi Hall, the score: Misery Loves Company 143, Redwood Rollers 109. For Humboldt Roller Derby, this is Paul Brousseau for KZZH Radio, signing off and saying goodnight. Thank you.